there. Welcome to the show where ex-evangelicals watch and talk about TV shows and movies.
The ones we weren't allowed to watch as kids because, Satan and stuff.
I'm Donovan.
I'm Zach, and Jesus stole our movies.
So let's take a subpar 90s horror action movie, cast some new dudes in it, and turn it into a meta comedy and get this movie back.
Say it again.
Let's take a 90s horror action movie, cast it with some new dudes, and turn it into a meta comedy.
Is it just scary movie?
Anaconda.
He got it.
Oh, okay.
I saw Paul Rudd talk about it as a reimagining.
There you go. You got it.
Reimagining. There it is.
Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the show. It's great to have you all here. Zach, how you doing, buddy?
If you are new here, and you're not quite aware and you don't know, we are we kind of try to be very gentle with things, but both of us here at Jesus Stole Our Movies are 100% anti-MAGA, anti-ICE, pro-immigration, pro-LGBTQ.
Yeah.
We don't play this fucking fascist shit. We believe, both of us, that every human being on the face of this earth, no matter who they are, deserves to have equal fucking rights.
Yes.
People are not illegal, and people should not be snatched off the street by armed goons. So, and it doesn't matter who the fuck you are. Nobody deserves to be taken away. Like, we live in a fascist fucking hellscape, and it's really fucking hard right now, and it's really difficult for everybody to try to get through this shit. Even if you aren't standing at the front line getting tear gas, you're watching every moment of it on your phone, which you probably shouldn't be. I too am guilty of that. But Donovan is absolutely right. We want to try to have a fun, silly time here and give everybody a place to be safe and okay, unless you're a fucking fascist, in which case, get the fuck out. If this is your first time, you don't get it. Obviously, we take exception to Christian nationalism. We take exception to indoctrination of children, and the politicization of religion, comma general. So you might be in the wrong spot if you don't like left shit.
Yeah, I think the best way to just sum all that up, which I really appreciate you saying, Zach, 100%. I didn't know how to put it into words, so I really appreciate that. I will just say, fuck ICE, fuck Trump, and be good.
Yes.
That is the best way to put that, I feel.
We're all equal human fucking beings. As three white men in our mid-30s are gonna fucking talk about some shit. Like, anybody fucking needs to hear that at all. But still, if you are a white man in your mid-30s and you're listening to this, get good. I mean, like, fucking be nice, be sweet. If you need to be told that, you might be in the wrong place. But if you do need to be told that, you fucking matter, and your voice matters. You have a platform. You have all this fucking privilege. We got to use it.
Yep.
And we got to protect people.
Absolutely.
And protect people's rights. People's fucking rights are being taken away. It's crazy.
Yep.
So, yeah. That being said, I said 3, not 2.
Yep.
We have a guest this week.
We do. And it's a wonderful dude that we've been following for a long time, who goes by the moniker of Jesus Unfollower. Hello, Kevin. How are you, sir?
Hey, I'm doing well, but I will say nobody told me this was an anti-MAGA, anti-fascist podcast, so I may have to bail. I'm just kidding. I agree with everything that you guys said. Fuck ICE, fuck Trump.
I should ask you
them
first.
all.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, nobody ran that by me. I just want to make that clear. No,
I appreciate
totally
how fast you jumped back on that. And was like, I'm joking.
Yeah. I can't have the wrong impression of me. But if you did say, if anybody does think that I'm in my mid-30s, that's the most flattering thing that I'll hear all week. So thank you.
Oh, wow. You're not. That's surprising as balls, man.
42.
Holy shit.
That's a nice 42 right there. That's a nice 42.
Oh my God.
So how are you doing, sir? What have you been up to? Why don't you give us a little rundown of what you've been doing and stuff?
Oh man, I'm doing great. I make a lot of content. I try to provide comedic relief, for ex-evangelicals, for ex-Christians, atheists, because I know that we can all use a little bit of levity right now.
Hmm.
I try to help people laugh while simultaneously exposing the bullshit, exposing Christian nationalists, the hypocrisy, all of that. Like the people who are so up in arms about Charlie Kirk, but don't care about an innocent woman getting gunned in the street, and they'll just
Yes.
say, praying, or no. Whenever something happens that they don't like, they'll be like, no matter what, Jesus is in control. Instead of
Hmm.
speaking out against it, they'll just make generalizations and stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, like I try to just make some stuff that makes people laugh, kind of laugh about it, but also maybe think a little more critically. I've been posting a lot more stuff on my personal accounts. I didn't for a long time.
Yeah.
I've been an atheist since 2009, but I didn't talk about it like for a long, long time. And even
Yeah.
after I started making content several years ago now, I still didn't really talk about it much in my personal life or on my personal pages and stuff. But now it's like I feel like if I don't, then I'm not being true to myself, especially with how bad things have gotten
Yeah.
under this second Trump presidency. So it's more like this is who I am. If you don't like it, see ya. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter to me. I would rather be true to myself and call out the bullshit. So I've just been posting a lot across a lot of platforms while also trying to finish my bachelor's degree online, while also doing freelance podcast editing. And I just took another online part-time job. So I'm trying to balance all that
Hell
as
yeah.
well as being a fiance and everything. So
I feel
just
that,
it's
man.
been busy but good.
Hell yeah.
And as long as I don't turn on the news, then I'm like, fuck everything. The world is burning.
Yes. Would you mind giving us a little history with your past with Christianity and everything?
Sure. Yeah. So I would say that I grew up Christian, but not strict.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't a strict religious upbringing. It was my mom pretty much being like, we should be going to church. And so we would go to Baptist churches. We never really found one that was like a good home church. We bounced
Mm-hmm.
around between a few and we would go like once or twice a month. It was boring as shit to me. But I never knew that not believing in God was even a thing. Like everybody I knew believed in God. I didn't know that people didn't. It
Yeah.
was just the world that I grew up in. And just sort of chugging along until middle school, I met my first atheist, a guy in my class named Justin. And like we were sitting in the bleachers at the track, like I don't know, we probably just ran track or something, and we're just sitting down afterwards. And for some reason, I think he talked about religion a lot and talked about being an atheist a lot, but then we got to talking about it, and he was talking about Noah's Ark, and he was just talking about how ridiculous it is and how it could never happen, and that was I always say that that was the first crack in my foundation of belief because I was
Mm-hmm.
like, it doesn't make sense, like, but it was like one of those things where I thought about it and it didn't really make sense, but then I just went right back to, well, God can do whatever. God, like, who am I to question? He can do it
Yeah.
all. He can do miracles. If just because something doesn't make sense to me logically doesn't mean it's not possible. And so I just jumped right back into being a believer and stuff. And uh, in high school, I started going to a Pentecostal church, which really changed everything for me because I was 15 or 16, got introduced to this Church of God and like walked in the doors there, and it was unlike any other church I had ever been to. Like I was like, what? This is churches like this sometimes? Like there's loud music, there's people dancing, literally people dancing in the altar, people waving flags in the back. The music is loud. It's completely packed out, wall to wall. And the keyboard player just completely stopped playing and started running laps around the church. And I was like, holy shit. And I thought it was crazy,
Uh-huh.
but it's interesting how stuff like that becomes normal so fast. So like within a few months, that was just life. People ran around the church, people danced, people spoke in tongues. It was all just normal to me. And I would say that I got saved when I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Heaven's Gates and Hell's Flames, like this traveling play that goes around to evangelical churches. A lot of times they'll take people from the church, from the drama team and stuff, and cast them in this play.
Oh man.
And it's like basically little skits of like if you do this and you don't give your life to Jesus, then you're going to go to hell. Like they'll have demons run up from off the stage and grab people and like pull them down, pull them to
Jesus.
hell. So I'm sitting there watching people that I go to church with, my friends and stuff, being like dragged to hell because
Mhm.
they drank a beer or whatever the skit said.
Good
And so
Lord.
obviously that terrifies you as a
Yeah.
16, 17-year-old. And so I gave my life to Christ that night. But then I like got really, really heavily involved in church, played in the worship band, went to church like 3 or 4 times a week. Like my late teens and early 20s were all church, got married young,
Hmm.
ended up getting divorced, obviously, because that's what happens when you get married super young most of the time. And, but my belief stopped when, um, this guy at work asked me if I believed in God. I used to go walk around the building sometimes to try to relieve stress because I worked in the shipping department of a
Hmm.
flooring company and it got really stressful sometimes. And I would go for walks, and that guy was outside smoking almost every time. And we just got to talking sometimes, and he asked me if I believed in God, and I told him yes. And then he said that he used to be a preacher, and that like when he was younger, he would travel around preaching at all these churches. And but then he decided he wanted to go to college, and all the people in his church were like, don't go to college. It's, Satan's and the liberal professors and Satan, and you're going to learn things. And but he was like, I'm going to go anyway. So he went and he was telling me about how he went to this religion class and he was learning about all the different religions of the world. And it just made sense to him that most of the time where you're born or what your parents believe determines how you believe. And I was like, holy shit. It was like a light bulb moment for me.
Hmm.
And so like my beliefs just started unraveling at that point. And within, a few months, I was saying that I didn't believe in God. And like it took me a little bit to call myself an atheist, but
Yeah.
um, that those beliefs sort of unraveled pretty quickly. And yeah, then I kind of became indifferent toward religion for a long time. But then, seeing uh all the evangelical support of Trump and stuff, and I don't know, I just felt the need to like start post. I wanted a place to vent about everything about religion and stuff. And so I just made an Instagram account, and that's kind of where it all started in 2019. And I've just been making stuff since then. People would start like commenting on my stuff, and then I would see other accounts, and I'm like, man, there's a lot more people than I thought in this
Yeah.
space talking about this, or people needing stuff like this. And so I've just been at it since then.
That's so rad, dude. I love
And
that.
like
Thank you
as
for
Yeah,
we
sharing that.
as we always see, as soon as belief in Christianity is subjected to critical thinking and rather than dogmatic like slavishness, uh, everything dissolves. Any kind of critical thing, you scratch that surface, and it's like, oh, this doesn't work. This doesn't work.
hmm
This is abominable. I am trash, but I'm supposed to think that the thing that created the entire all of this gives a shit about me. But I like, and the weird abusive relationship that God has with anyone in the Bible, God has
Yeah,
with all the people of the church. Once you start thinking about it, it just all unravels. And we always like to hear everybody's stories, and we love to hear
yeah.
stories about how you figured things out, or you know,
It makes you wonder, like, if people couldn't, like, if people weren't told about religion until they were a little bit older,
Mm.
like, how many people would be so strong in their beliefs? It's like they set the hooks in when you're a kid in most cases, or when
Yeah.
you're young and impressionable, I would say.
that's why
100%.
they have kids church. That's why it's got to have puppets and singing and
I used to do
colorfulness.
puppets. I used to do
Oh,
puppets at the kids' church.
That's
that
awesome. Do you remember the little felt boards? Those were
yeah.
fucking wild with like the little animals and stuff. You had to be like, "This is Jesus is the shepherd, and you are this lamb," and you're like, "Okay, I'm a lamb." I was gonna ask you too. Did you have a period when you were first like starting to not believe and like quote unquote deconstruct, I guess? Were you like, how long did it take you to get rid of that Christian guilt? Did you have that for a while where you're like, I feel like I should still believe or something bad's gonna happen, but I can't. Do you know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about?
Yes. I know exactly what you're talking about. It took a few months probably, I would say, because like it's this weird thing where you don't believe in God, but you think that he also is listening to you,
Yeah.
even though like you simultaneously don't believe. I'm like trying to talk to God and like if you are there, give me a sign or let me know or something, and just would never get that. And then like the first time I ever said out loud that I didn't believe in God, it was a weird feeling because
Yeah.
I felt like God was listening to me say that, even though I didn't believe in him. So it's like that guilt and that fear is so embedded in you,
Yeah.
you know? And yeah, it was strange, but it didn't take me too long because I started thinking about like the fear of hell and stuff is how they really get you. But I would think I never really feared any other hells than any other religions, like the punishment for not believing in other religions and stuff. And so when I looked at it that way, I was like, I didn't have that fear anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, at this point, it's like if there's a God and he wants me to know that he's real, he's got to do more than just like translate or tell me through some mistranslated text and through some people that I went to church with and stuff. So,
Yeah.
Right.
that's kind of where I landed on that.
Yeah.
Well, and like one of the easiest things to pull out as an atheist is the problem of evil, right? Like that's the first thing that you kind of say. If God is this benevolent, all-knowing, all-loving God, why do babies get cancer? Why do
Yeah.
children die horribly? Like
Hmm.
why do people who live pious lives still suffer if God gives a shit about them? And a lot of people, even secular people, I noticed when I first like outwardly said I was being an atheist, uh, even secular people that I knew were just like, oh, yeah, okay. Like there was this sort of like, it's so deeply ingrained in our culture that like
Yeah.
Christianity is so baked into everything we do, and God is so baked in everything we do. That like it's hard for some people to even rationalize, like, oh, what does that look like? Like, what does that actually feel like? And I don't even people that have never I knew never went to church were still like, oh, okay, well, whatever. Because I kind of for a while I went through what I jokingly refer to as a period of like Lovecraftian deism, where like I was like, well, if there is a God, if this thing created the universe, there's no way we would be anything to whatever this intelligence is other
Right.
than like amoebas, you know. Um,
Uh-huh.
and even
Like,
if this thing were to direct its attention on you, the attention of something that vast and incomprehensible would turn your mind to jelly. And I kind of jokingly refer to that as Lovecraftian deism. But then I was like, there's the idea that like everything was crafted with care, but things end up mutated. Weird
hmm
shit happens to evolutionarily all the time. Um, Stuff exists that just explodes if it's next to fire, which like
yeah.
if that was planned, it probably wouldn't do that. You know
Yeah,
what I
like
mean?
most of the water on the planet's not drinkable.
Right.
That kind
Yeah.
of thing.
And it's just so. And if once you start talking to people, the one thing that I kind of had a really harsh realization about was like the idea that this fucking guy showed up at this 11-year-old girl's house and said, "Hey, I'm an angel. God's gonna fuck ya." It's like, holy shit. That means Mary wasn't like consenting. It was just like, "Hey, you're
Yep.
gonna get raped by the thing that created the universe." Okay, thanks. Bye.
It all just seems a bit unnecessary, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah,
does all that have to happen? Like,
like
can there
No.
not be a more grand gesture of here I am, everybody, or something? Does that really have, does he have to go through with all that, like becoming a human and being a carpenter and doing magic tricks and then dying and ascending and but only some people saw it
right.
and it wasn't written about until decades later and stuff. Come on.
Hmm.
That's I do like the thought of like deism versus theism. I think about like deism does make more sense to me. Like if there is a God or whatever, omnipotent being or whatever that just like put things in motion and just kind of let them be, that would to me makes more sense than Christianity does.
Hmm.
But at the same time, it's just like everything. And one of their apologetics is always it's so perfect. Everything's so look at a leaf. A leaf is designed to do X, Y, and Z. It's not designed to do shit. But bajillions of years
Hmm.
of that leaf dying and surviving. Like I don't need to explain evolution to anybody, but
Yeah.
like what works works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It dies. It's not. It's
Yeah.
not too fucking hard to understand how evolution works over here. You know what I
Forget
mean?
about it.
It's just
Yeah.
like nothing,
Exactly.
nobody designed that. Nothing is perfect. If you think things are too perfect, and then say, "Oh, well, what about the imperfection?" Oh, well, God designed it that way on purpose. That's fucking idiotic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry.
They can make it whatever they want to fit their narrative. And I would
Yes.
recommend
Everything can get.
The Blind Watchmaker. It's a good book
Yeah.
to for evolution. Like if I mean the Dawkins book about the basics of evolution. I like The Blind Watchmaker a lot. I think anybody could benefit from reading that.
I've
Oh,
never
for
even heard
sure.
of that, so I appreciate that one.
Yeah.
Um,
I I just want to throw it back to 1 second about the whole like guilt, Christian guilt thing, because
Hmm.
the main reason I ask that is because sometimes it still hits me when I hear certain things, and it's such a weird fucking feeling. You hear it in the
Oh
back,
yeah.
you like it's in the back of your brain. Like still, when if I hear someone say "Hail Satan," I'm like, should I listen to this?
Or when you hear about like such and such companies embedding microchips in people's hands, you're like,
Oh
wait a
my God.
minute,
Yeah, I
this
heard
sounds
about this.
familiar.
Yeah. Or if
Wait, is it coming to fruition?
I remember there was one conspiracy theory when I was a kid that the barcodes, there was 666 hidden in every
oh yeah.
barcode.
Oh yeah.
So I still look at cereal and shit and I'm like, this is fucked. My
And
wife's like, are you okay?
Monster Energy was supposedly a 666 logo.
I
Yeah, all
love that
that
one.
stuff.
That's so
Remember
stupid.
that?
See, that's when conspiracy theories were fun and nobody
Real
like thought.
Christians drink rock stars. The
Right.
Satanists drink Monster. Yeah.
Because you know who else is a rock star?
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Uh, no, like that shit used to be like, haha, look at this goober, and now like those goobers are running the country.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
Insane. But,
that's
like
well put.
it's like fuck, man, fuck you. You're even not even that long ago. Do you remember when the whole thing with Marjorie Taylor Greene happened, where she said out loud on the podium, "Jewish space lasers,"
Yes.
Yes.
and like everybody was like, "Ah, fuck you, you idiot," blah 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 blah. They said that now she'd be fine. Like
Yep.
these people say this insane shit all the time, and there's no backing, there's no grounds for it, and it's because I feel opinion statement. We live in the world of the internet where everything is an absolute and everybody thinks that way because one jackass said it. I'm a
Yeah.
jackass and I'm saying one thing. I feel like a lot of the problems we have now are because a pastor can get up in front of a congregation and literally say whatever the hell he wants, and people take that as being like a divinely inspired word or
Right.
coming
Yes.
from a higher power. Like a lot of this stuff is just people being able to make up whatever bullshit and nobody calling them on it for generations.
That's a scary place. You
Hmm.
know, like when George Bush used to pray before, like, should we, Father God, should we go to war or not? It's like that kind of stuff is just scary, knowing that
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
somebody's getting their decisions about whether to or not to bomb another country from the good Lord upstairs.
And that's
Scary
just
times.
open to that dude's interpretation, which is
Yeah.
wonderful.
Are y'all
Yeah.
familiar with Pastor Greg Locke? You ever see him?
Oh yeah.
Did you
His name
see
sounds
where
familiar.
he was preaching at Mar-a-Lago the other day, and I was like, man, this is like a nightmare. Everybody in that room is like my definitely my least favorite people on earth.
Yeah. Donovan Greg Locke is the he's the um he's one of the empathy is a sin guys.
Ah,
He's
okay.
also like a
Book
tough guy
burning guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
Greg
Yeah,
Locke
he's a
is I'm gonna tape a Bible to a baseball bat
Oh,
and beat a
beat the
Barbie
shit out
dream
of a
house
Barbie
with it.
house.
yeah, he's the one that beat the Barbie house.
What a dipshit.
I remember
Yeah, he's
watching
It's
that and be like,
dangerous.
he's abusing that Bible.
he's the one who says like there's a demon in this congregation right now. And he'll like start calling out people in the
Oh
congregation
no.
saying that they're demons. He got on to people for bringing Starbucks cups to church. If I see a Starbucks cup in here, I'm kicking you out. And like just
Jesus.
openly calling Democrats evil and stuff
Hmm.
from the pulpit. I think
Wasn't
they might have got their tax exemption status revoked, but I don't know the latest on that.
Yeah, it probably got
wasn't there a
reversed,
thing with
honestly.
the calling people demons in the congregation, people that had sexual misconduct allegations against him or people in the church? I
Yeah,
believe that came out
he,
later that like
I
that's
think
what he was
so.
doing.
I mean, he cheated. I think he cheated on his wife I mean, I'm not sure on this, but I think he cheated with his wife on the with the secretary and stuff, and like it's just
Oh my
weird when
God.
people like this just like call out demonic spirits.
What a godly guy.
Yep.
Very godly guy.
Speaking of demonic spirits and
Hey,
evil, what are we watching this week? What movie did we see so that we're going to talk about?
You want to do the honors, Kevin? Tell us what we're watching.
we watched drum roll Matilda.
Hell yeah.
Silva,
Man.
1996.
Metal as shit, bro.
Yeah, Matilda. Yeah, it was good. It was a movie that for some reason, I didn't really have a super strict upbringing. Like we watched most things.
hmm
Um, I mean, my sister and I did have to hide behind the chair in the living room and watch Beavis and Butthead late at night. But for the most part, we could watch most things. But there are some movies. I'm one of those people who just, for some reason, just didn't see a lot of movies. I think it was because I was always either playing outside, playing video games, or watching sports. I was a still am, big sports fan.
hmm
Loved baseball when I was a kid and stuff. And I think maybe that's why I didn't watch a ton of movies because I was just doing other stuff. But
Yeah.
Matilda is one of those movies that, for whatever reason, not because it was banned in my house or anything, but I just never saw it. I know my sister watched it, but I never
hmm
did.
What about
Awesome.
you, Donovan? Was Matilda banned in your home?
There were some movies like this that were. I don't remember if this one was kept away, but I remember I didn't watch it till I watched it at my grandma's house. But my grandma was like super lax. I saw Blazing Saddles when I was like 7 with her. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, that really shaped my sense of humor for sure. But I don't think that this one was kept from me. I saw it at a pretty young age, but it had a lot of whimsy in it, which like really like tickled my fancy to put it into words. You know what I mean? So I really dug that about it. What about you? I'm pretty sure you weren't allowed to watch this.
Oh yeah, I have never seen this movie all the way through. Um, I think I saw about halfway through because, and I was surprised to learn when I watched this that Matilda is not in fact a witch. Um,
Yeah.
there was this idea for somehow that my mom got in her head, or my dad or whomever was, because they I'm learning as we're doing this podcast that a lot of their stuff comes from the shit people were talking in the church
Yeah.
Mm,
and like just like agreeing with whatever jackass of the church told you something. Um,
yeah.
I was under the impression, and my apparently my mom and dad were under the impression that Matilda was a witch in the movie, so that's why we weren't allowed to watch it.
Yeah.
That like she was doing black magic or whatever.
Hmm.
And my friend, who I've lost contact with now, which really sucks, but she was like a very very good friend of mine when we were kids. She like fucking loved this movie. She brought it to our house, and we put it on, and my mom like came down, saw what it was, and like took it out of the VCR
Whoa. Holy
because
crap.
like yeah, because she was like, oh, we're not gonna have witches in this house. And fun bit, no witches were in this house. Like whatever, man. But actually, Donovan, I know you have said previously you read Roald Dahl books with your youngest.
Yeah, we read
Um,
them all the time, yeah.
have you recently went through Matilda with him?
No, we haven't. We didn't even get to Matilda. We finished the Charlie and Chocolate Factories, and we've read Fantastic Mr. Fox like 5 times because we love that book. But we never got to Matilda.
Okay, cool. Well, I was trying to listen to the audiobook this week before we did this podcast so I could do some like adaptation notes or whatever, but
hmm
it wasn't available on any of the library free audiobook apps.
Yeah,
So I cannot compare the movie to the book.
yeah. Nor can
We
Mm.
will
I.
not be able to do that. I know that Roald Dahl wasn't super happy with the movie.
Oh, really?
I'm not entirely sure why. I
He
think the
just
book
doesn't
is
like Danny DeVito.
well. I think he was burned by. There's no fuck way. Danny DeVito's a peach. Not even
He
Roald
is.
Dahl, who is himself a peach, was himself a peach. You can't besmirch Danny DeVito.
No, no,
Come
no.
on.
I love
That
him.
was
I'm
it
saying
was
he didn't.
Oh, I
it was a
know. And
pleasant surprise for me. I had no clue that Danny DeVito was even in this movie. I knew nothing about Matilda except that she could make stuff move with her mind. That's the only thing I knew. Had no idea who was even in it besides that little girl that was in Mrs. Doubtfire. And I'm like, and then it starts with Danny DeVito. I'm like, hey, I did not know he was in this.
Right.
and
And it starts with his VO, so you don't like his voiceover, so you don't even know for sure if he's in it. You're just like, oh, cool, he's an awesome
Yeah.
narrator.
Which I thought was an odd choice that he did the narration because like there was really I'm sure we'll get more into the movie, but the arc just wasn't there for him to be the one narrating. It was a little weird to me. It was
Yeah.
strange.
What I got caught up on is the voiceover, because I know that it's a Roald Dahl book, and I know that Roald Dahl is an English person, and
Hmm.
I've watched all those interviews with him, like in his weird writing shed in his backyard. Now all I can see is like this man typing on his typewriter, and Danny DeVito is just standing beside him, like it was all over. And then Charlie got in the elevator. They went through the roof. It's like, oh yeah.
It was a pretty good DeVito.
Yeah, it
All I
was.
can see is all I can hear is Danny DeVito like standing beside this man in this like 6x8 shed, just breathing down his neck as he's writing under one single naked
Yeah,
light
and because he's
bulb.
so short, he's literally right over his shoulder.
Can you
It was
imagine
a
if that
giant. He was like 14 feet tall. It was crazy.
Danny,
Holy
he's
shit.
he's 5'10".
Can you
Um,
imagine if that was actually Roald Dahl's voice? Like he sounded
that's
just
what I
like
was thinking.
Oh my God.
That's it. That's Roald Dahl's inner monologue. That he's like this very fuddy-duddy elderly English gentleman, just like I've been sitting here typing on my fucking keyboard or whatever, and like, and it's but inside his head, every note, every word he writes is like, oh my god, but it's
Asbury
Frank
Park.
Reynolds the entire time.
That was like almost like a Jason Statham. She had superpowers.
Well, I don't remember what part of England Danny Roald Dahl's from, so I
Oh yeah.
feel like I think he
I
was
couldn't tell you.
northern.
No, no. But I can promise you that from now on, when I read these books with my son, I am doing Danny DeVito.
So anyway, started blasting. Like
Yeah, the
that's how the
fantastic Mr.
VFD ends.
Fox. But
Did
all right.
we find any Christian reactions to this movie, like actual ones that anybody wrote down?
Yeah, I
I did.
visited. Oh, you did? What do you got?
Oh, you can go first, man. It's your podcast.
Oh, no worries. I visited our good friends at movieguide.org, and I found that they give this movie a -2.
What?
And here's our content for why they chose that. Right off the bat, we got pagan worldview.
Oh my
Nothing
God.
pagan whatsoever in this movie, by the way.
Yep.
No paganism whatsoever.
Pagan worldview, moral elements encouraging reading. Don't know if that's bad. Learning and friend.
That was on their negative list?
Yeah.
Oh, imagine Christians not wanting people to fucking read books. Piece of fucking shit.
Okay, then I don't know if this is in the
That
positive, but
makes me
this rest of it's just listed. Learning and friendship and discouraging child neglect with elements of telekinesis and extraordinary powers and a portrayal of parents as stupid.
You can't question your authority figures.
Nope.
Exactly. I got one from ChristianAnswers.net.
Yep.
Oh, hell yeah.
Did you see that one?
No, we're very familiar with the website though.
Oh, nice. Christian Spotlight on Entertainment. It says movie making quality 3 stars, whatever that means. But the part that caught me was it says it's troubling that the evil portrayed in the movie originates in the natural authority of her parents and the authority of the school principal. Most children experience some degree of reaction to the authorities in their lives. Glamorizing this negative attitude toward parents and school and resolving it by separation sends a message that my children don't need to hear.
Oh God.
Mhm.
So
That's
it's like the whole disobeying the parents thing is big here.
that's the
And
whole reason you weren't allowed to watch Home Alone, isn't it?
oh yeah, dude.
Oh man.
Rebellion is tantamount to witchcraft. You defy your mother and you're a witch. Which
Mhm.
is probably why my mom thought this movie was. See, we're getting to the bottom of it, kids. Um, so like the first line in the Christian Answers review was like, on the surface, Matilda seems like a fine, sweet story. And I'm like, okay, you get stopped because this is a fine, sweet story, and you're a fucking prick if you think it's anything other than the most adorable thing you've ever seen. I'm not crying, you're crying.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. When I was watching it last night with my kids, I definitely didn't tear up almost every time Miss Honey
Oh,
was
yeah.
talking to Matilda.
Oh man.
And like anytime Miss Trunchbull touched Miss Honey, I was like, oh, it's on site, Trunch.
Get
It's
off
on
of her.
site. Don't you touch Miss Honey. She's the best.
All right.
So let's get into it, shall we?
Absolutely.
Once upon a time, there was a girl named Matilda
Hi, Dad.
Get in the car, Melinda.
Matilda!
Whatever.
who was extraordinary in every way.
Pretty soon you'll be able to do any multiplication, whether it's 2 times 7.
14! feet, or 13 times 379.
4,927. Wow.
She can multiply large sums in her head. So can a calculator.
But in a world where grown-ups make all the rules,
I'm smart, you're dumb.
I'm big and you're small.
I'm right.
And you're wrong.
in a school where the principal
In this school, I am God!
has no principles,
Yes, Miss Trunchbull. Sir. The Trunchbull used to be in the Olympics. Shot put, javelin, hammer throw.
she will discover
Somebody's gotta teach her a lesson.
deep inside herself
You should believe in whatever power you think you have inside of you.
a secret weapon
I said it was my powers.
to even the odds.
No more Miss Nice Girl.
Hey, dip face, have a carrot.
Nah, you eat it.
Now,
Cookie! You will not leave this platform until you have consumed the entire confection!
she gives power
You can do it, Brucey!
to the powerless, help to the helpless,
Harry, take your hat off.
I can't get it off.
and disaster to those who deserve it. From the author of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and James and the Giant Peach, and the unique vision
What did you do to your hair?
of director Danny DeVito, comes the story of every kid's right to stand tall, no matter how small. Matilda.
We open on a title card that looks sort of cutesy and sort of childhood whimsy, but it's really pixelated, so you could tell it's a computer generated hand drawn thing. Why not just have a kid write the word Matilda down or something?
Hmm.
And boo, baby jump scare, as we see a way too close up of a baby's eyes that pulls out to reveal a whole mess of the little cuties, accompanied by a voiceover proclaiming that every baby is born good at something and unique, which is pretty nice. But alas, we cannot in fact have anything nice, and we smash cut to this poor, adorable ray of fucking sunshine being introduced to the world's worst parents. Zinnia and Harry Wormwood, played by Danny DeVito and Rhea Perlman. Is Rhea Perlman Danny DeVito's IRL wife?
Yeah.
Okay. That's why they had
Oh.
such good fucking chemistry, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I did
You-
not know that. Fun
Yeah.
fact.
Even as
Yeah.
pieces of shit in the movie, they still have wonderful chemistry.
even as pieces of shit in this movie, they're still a joy to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my god. Everybody did such a good spoiler alert. This movie fucking rules.
Yeah,
and I was
it-
like, oh
it
my
was-
god, I can't.
Perfectly cast.
Oh,
Mhm.
it was perfect. And this movie was the first time I learned that Danny DeVito, like we talked about this earlier, a couple episodes ago. I didn't even know Danny DeVito directed.
Yeah.
Like this is the first time I like, wow, Danny DeVito directed this movie. We're going to talk about how stellar his direction is in this film a little bit.
Oh,
later.
dude, yeah, the random Dutch angles and stuff that were
Oh,
like
dude,
really
it's-
hammered stuff home. It was so good.
Come on, son, it's so good. um, and there's a timeless element to this movie. It's pretty interesting to me. It felt like we were in sort of a 1960s out of time. There was a lot of mid-century modern happening in their house. None of the vehicles seemed older than the 80s. And then there were some anachronisms a little bit later that we're going to talk about. But it looks phenomenal. Every
Mhm.
set is perfect. All
Mhm.
the production design is top-notch stuff. Like, this is a very, very well done film. What follows is a montage accompanied by voiceover of Matilda growing and doing her goddamn best despite all this neglect and outright disdain from the Wormwoods. There's hyper-advanced handwriting, dressing oneself way, way too young, and improbable sartorial choices. The voiceover tells us that Matilda likes being alone, and she's pretty darn good at it too. When Matilda asks for a book, surprise, surprise, she gets verbally abused and told to stop being a lip-tard cuck and watch TV like a good kid.
Hell yeah.
And and this is where I was like, man, I never thought Roald Dahl would have such a thick New Jersey accent. Like, huh, that sounds kind of familiar. And now I can't shake the picture of Danny DeVito sitting in Roald Dahl's weird writing shed with that one single light bulb talking like Frank Reynolds. It's like, thanks, movie. In like a cardigan. Ugh. Not to be deterred, the precocious kid takes matters into her own hands, converting neglect into opportunity, looking up the public library in the arcane eldritch grimoire known as the phone book, like some sort of medieval wizard. Because, in case you did not know, we used to have to look up that shit on paper because we're all so fucking old.
When did phone books stop? I mean, I guess they're probably still in circulation to some degree, but I feel like there was like a hard that we're done with the phone books.
Oh
I
yeah,
feel like
man.
it dialed down around like the mid 2010s.
I remember
that get everything.
they'd be
Yeah.
delivered at like apartment buildings, and there would just be like a stack of them, so like everyone can come grab one. It was they were everywhere, man. And you probably have to like go to the post office or something now to order one or some shit.
Probably.
What do you think of the poor power
Phonebook.org.
team?
Yeah, right.
What do you think the poor power team's tearing in half now? They have to like tear in half Sarah J. Maas books
Oh,
because they
man.
don't have any phone books anymore to tear in half.
They might be the only people keeping them in any kind of circulation.
Wait, hold
For
on.
real.
I figured it out. Big Publishing is pushing these page counts in these goddamn fantasy novels because they're in bed with the power team who needs to tear the thickest fucking book they can find in half to prove that Jesus exists. God damn it. Everything's a conspiracy.
Man, that's great detective work.
Matilda sets off with single-minded determination to find that goddamn library, possibly get hit by a truck. But no, not today, Satan. She gets to the library. And the race is on. Matilda's world entirely shifts, and all across America, thousands of kids nod at the screen with the same girl saying, as those thousands of kids find their entire personality. Because let me tell you what, brother, wagon full of books from the library is us. There's some people like, hey, I got you. You know what I mean?
It doesn't matter if it was just a bunch of paperbacks of Batman and Spider-Man. It counts.
Yeah, dude.
Absolutely.
My wife even said, she was like, oh, I had the hair ribbon. Like, I begged my mom to get us a little Red Ryder wagon so we could take it to the library. She's like,
That's so cool.
Like, this movie inspired my wife to actually go to film school.
Oh, that's rad.
Because she loved it so much.
Cool.
And guess what? Fucking shitty dudes deterred her from pursuing film any farther because dudes suck. And we can't fucking handle our shit. Finally, the nice librarian, not that weird one the Libyans were chasing that said you could only take 2 books at a time, tells Matilda.
Is that a Page Master reference?
I don't know
Very
how,
good, sir.
She says that Matilda can take as many books as she wants all at once. Fuck yes. One of the greatest joys of childhood playing out right on the screen in front of us. And oh man, I felt that shit so hard. Matilda checks out piles and piles of books at a time, carting them home from the library in an open-top wagon. Like a total psychopath. You gotta put that shit in a bag, Tilda. Like, what are you doing? What if it rains?
Or one falls off and you don't realize it.
Yeah, you're telling me she went to the library all those times and not once did it rain?
What is she? What? Oh, you better. And the sunlight is directly beating down on all these books. I'm like, you better watch it, kid. I know she's being neglected, so I got to give Matilda a pass. We see her reads include Lorna Doone, the Pickwick Papers, and The Hobbit with that sick OG purple sky cover that the professor himself painted. And I paused this and tried to read all the book covers, but I couldn't read them all.
I like to believe that she probably made it about a quarter of the way through The Hobbit before she got bored as fuck.
You fucking what, mate? You fucking what?
She might as well
read the books.
Huh?
I didn't read The Hobbit, but I do think that they did not need to break that movie up into three
Oh
separate
no,
films.
No.
That felt a little
it's
unnecessary.
it's an hour and a half at best. No,
Yeah.
no. She got through The Hobbit. She started reading Lord of the Rings, and then she quit because that shit's boring as fuck.
I don't know,
Like,
man. She might as well read
God
the
Ooh.
damn,
Bible with all those fucking names.
all those names. New Jersey Roald Dahl informs us that Matilda loves the worlds and adventures the books provide, and they help her feel less alone. And the books are her friends. And God damn it, why are you talking to me personally? I feel attacked. Later, at home, her dad busts in on Matilda reading with harsh lighting and Dutch angles, a shot shooting up from the floor, making even the diminutive and eminently friendly looking Danny DeVito seem monstrous and hulking.
True.
Terrific, terrific filmmaking here. The lighting shifts, oh, it's so fucking good, dude. Like, how do you make you got to be a good director to make Danny DeVito look. And this is not to be like sizist or whatever, but
Hmm.
like
Mhm.
he's a factually small man, and like God, it's just so good. And like it's like scary. If I was a kid watching this, I would have been really actually scared by Mr. Wormwood and Trunchbull. Man, he does a hell of a job making
Yeah.
everybody who's bad very monstrous.
Well, that was one of the biggest things with him directing too, is like he was very close with like the child actors to the degree of like helping them with school and stuff like that when they left the movie and very being in contact with them even in the adult age. Like he was very good at like making sure the kids were comfortable despite how like tense things got on set. Because like it was they did such a good job with conveying like how shitty the parents were and how scary Trunchbull was that my son, when we started watching, he was like, I kind of don't like this because it's making me mad. And I was like, I get it, buddy. It's doing its job then.
I was scared of Trunchbull as a 42-year-old man. I'll be honest with you.
I feel that.
She came out of there with that fucking hammer throw mace, like smashing shit. Like
And,
that's a deadly weapon.
yeah, and the lead up, like not seeing her face for the first however
Mm-hmm.
many,
Hmm.
minutes that her character is on the screen.
And then she comes leering into the camera the first time you see her. You're like, Jesus, back up, lady.
Yeah.
Harry yells at Matilda for reading like one of those goddamn liberals, saying 4-year-olds can't read. Matilda answers in her creepy ass Overlook Hotel twins voice that she is in fact 6.5 and should in fact be in school. Harry protests, hauling her down the hall to ask mom how old she is, and surprise,
She's
surprise,
4. She's 4.
she's 4 years old, Harry. Uh, Surprisingly, mom doesn't know how old she is either. They yell, shitty older brother yells, and taunts her with a taunt that does not work. What is a diphead, sir? Get better at your taunts, please. This is how you know the person is a bully because they don't have to like improve their insults. They just like say the dumbest shit. Like,
Yeah.
no, I have to fucking fight you with
You
my
probably
words.
like eating food, don't you? Gotcha. It's like,
You some kind of
got me.
eater? What do you chew a lot? You fucking, yeah.
Bet you
You
think you
fucking.
need that prayer, you idiot.
I bet you go to the bathroom too, don't you?
At least multiple times a day.
You gotta drink all that water to stay hydrated. You piece of shit.
You gonna stay hydrated, little dummy?
Matilda retreats to her room and her literary pals to escape all these assholes.
Hmm.
Later, Dad comes home touting his 1960s scammy used car salesman acumen, and Matilda does the math of how much money he made that day, all in her head at 6 years old. Harry, for some reason, takes umbrage at this and yells at her, accidentally giving her the completely fictional idea that those who do wrong deserve punishment.
Yeah.
Because, that doesn't actually exist in reality. That's apparently only for movies. People that do bad things, why would they get punished? I mean,
They get to be president.
they get to be president.
Oh,
They get to
Jesus.
walk free. They get to have no sentences. They get to
Yep.
kill people and face no accountability. That's why we have movies, kids.
Yep.
We talked about this before. There's so much bullshit, and like stories are how we actually deal with shit. And like, I feel like that's probably why they want to mess with like human creativity so much with AI. So nobody thinks that there should actually be accountability. I don't know if
Mm.
that's a little too far to push the idea, but if you take away the art and take away the human spirit, the whole idea of like so many people, so many older guys, like Gen X guys, like late boomers, whose large part of their personality is Star Wars, have kind of forgotten all of like the human spirit elements of resisting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and it comes from like being fed all this right wing shit. And I think that's what they, I don't want to speak too strongly about it, but I feel like AI is going to take a lot of the heart out of what we do as
The
people.
older I get, the more I side with Palpatine, brother. I think he was right the whole time.
Palpatine was right. Hashtag Palpatine was right.
Jesus Christ.
Team Palpatine.
The Palpers out here doing the Lord's work.
The Palpers.
The Palpers, baby.
I do want to point
Um,
out though that moment where he was like going in on her for being right, that definitely wasn't triggering at all.
oh
Like
yeah,
like it
Oh
was
yeah.
fucking intense, man. And he's just like, "You think you're smart, Alec?" And he was like, "Dude, I'm just that's just correct." And that felt very similar to like being a kid and questioning like the logic behind like
Yeah.
Noah and the whale. Like he lived inside the whale for that long, and you're like, "You
right.
shut your mouth."
Yeah. You're punishing me for being smart?
Yeah, right, exactly.
if you die and you're in a coffin and then Jesus comes back, but like you're dead, you get like your body you go out of the thing, you pull out of the thing. Yeah, that's how it works. Oh, okay.
We
You
don't
guys are
critically
weird.
think in this house.
Yeah.
Get it straight.
We just go
Oh,
by what
you're
we're told from this old book, and if you question that, we don't want to love you anymore.
well, I mean,
Oh,
it would be funny if it wasn't true.
Yeah,
yep.
I know.
I mean,
I realized as the words came out, that wasn't as much of a joke as I intended.
and punish the wicked Matilda does, sneaking peroxide into Harry's hair oil and Zinnia's sleazy sneaking peroxide into Harry's hair oil in his and Zinnia's really creepy, sleazy ass fuck palace. It was the dirtiest, gross. I think they had leather sheets or something.
That looked like Saul Goodman's bedroom. That's
For
what I thought. Like that looks like something that's Better Call Saul would have.
Like, oh my
sure.
god, the lighting is red. When they turn the lights on, they have red light bulbs. You're like, oh god. The hair product bleaches his hair, and he flips out, giving our adorable Matilda, played here by Mara Wilson, a pretty decent laugh. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, originally I was like, okay, she seems like one of the Overlook Hotel twins with her like monotone, but like we get some emotion from her later, and it's so good. Like, she's so fucking good in this movie.
Mhm.
Later, when Harry takes Matilda and her shitty older brother to the car lot, we see some feds surveilling him for selling stolen car parts. And a wild Paul Rubens appears, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, I
Hell
was
yeah.
like, Pee Wee freaking Herman.
Mm-hmm.
I was seeing this. We're gonna have to do Pee Wee's Big Adventure on the show because I've never seen it.
That's one of my
And
favorites,
Oh
man.
yeah.
That was one of the cool things is when we were watching it with the kids. They're like, "It's Pee-wee." It was dope.
I was gonna say a wild spleen appears, but I didn't know if anybody
Spleen.
would get that. Yeah,
Mystery Men's one of my favorite movies, dude.
Mm.
yeah, Mystery Men rules.
Fun
Mystery Men is
fact.
a lost superhero movie classic.
Hell yeah. Fun fact, the other FBI agent played Bob the Goon in the 1998 Batman.
Oh wow.
That stuck out to me because I watched that movie on repeat for years.
He looked familiar. I'm sure he's been in a bunch of other shit too. He
Mhm.
looked really familiar, and I was like, I know that face, but I didn't look him up because
Mhm.
I did not care that much. At Wormwood Used Cars, Harry shows the kids the various ways he scams and grifts the customers. When Matilda takes exception to this, he very roughly explains to her his place in the world as a Republican dad, and she should shut the fuck up. This
Mhm.
also made me. This almost made me physically angry for this child. Like, I was like, I am mad at Danny DeVito. Like this, like I felt emotions. I'm like, fuck, that was harsh because he's like pulling on her arm and stuff. I'm really glad you said that he was trying to take care of them because
Yeah.
there's a lot of parts in this movie where like adults are manhandling children. I'm like,
Yeah,
fuck,
I thought the
keep
same
this thing-
thing.
He pulls her hair at one time too to like lead her down the hallway.
Jesus. But Matilda, wise beyond her years, understands that karma is only a bitch if you are, and puts glue on Harry's hatband.
Hell yeah.
When the family tries to
Matilda
go
is
to,
punk as fuck, you guys.
oh yeah, Matilda's fucking resisting, dude. Like fuck these clowns. What wrong is wrong, and what's right is right, and you fucking defend the weak.
How
And
much?
she's
I think it's funny that he never like questioned. He never tried to figure out why the hat was stuck to his head. He just chalked it up to expand, like his head expanding,
Yeah.
and with the peroxide, like he was like, I guess that's a faulty. The thing I've been using every day suddenly went bad and turned my hair blonde.
it fused to my head. Like what the hell? And
Yeah,
like the idea that they never, even by the end of the movie, they're still referring like we have to get to the airport before the used boat salesman. You're like, what the
I
fuck?
know, I
Did
know.
he ever realize they were feds?
You know,
Yeah, I
it's
didn't know if he was saying that as like a joke because they finally figured it out, or if
right.
they really still thought that, or what.
It's funny that you pointed that out that he didn't even question like where this shit was actually coming from because there's other moments where he blames it on her that make no fucking sense. Like when the
I
TV
know.
blows up, he's like, "That was your fault," and it's like, "What?" But the glue in the hat was not possibly. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
When the family tries to go to dinner off Mom's bingo winnings, Harry tries to remove the hat, to hilarious effect, as DeVito and Perlman put on a physical comedy clinic, complete with pratfalls, dessert gags, and pies to the face.
Hell yeah.
Very funny stuff here. Later, Harry freaks out, demanding respect, doubling down on his authoritarian rule over the family. And we see some terrific film craft from Danny DeVito here, as when Harry demands Matilda stop reading and watch the world's nastiest fucking game show on TV, which that triggered all my fucking sensory shit. I'm like, they're putting
Yeah.
slime on this man.
And
Like,
of
that's
course they
foul.
had John Lovitz. He was the perfect host for that.
You're right.
Yes.
Hey,
That's
welcome
so
back.
fucking-
Yeah. I was like, man, was perfect. His 2-second cameo in this
Mhm.
movie.
The camera shoots up at him from a low angle. The lighting gets harsh, and the angle goes askew to really sell the monstrosity of the moment as Harry freaks out at the name of Herman Melville's admittedly dubiously named whaling book
Yeah,
and
that was
commits a
funny.
crime against literacy that made me wanted to swing on this clown as he tears the book in pieces, angrily calling it trash as he pulls handful of pages right off the spine.
Yep.
Moby, what?
Yep.
That was actually pretty fucking funny.
Yeah, it
I'm
was.
like, yeah, Moby, what? And look, which she is 6 years old, and he's too stupid to understand. Which is it's so fucking good. He's just too
Mhm.
stupid to understand.
Yeah.
You moron. Also, a 6-year-old Moby Dick, I don't see it. Even if she is a genius,
It's boring.
it's really fucking, it's really boring, and it's very heavy. Also, like the themes of Moby Dick are very heavy for a 6-year-old.
But she
Like,
gets it.
she was
She's a
super smart.
genius. A
Yeah, she's
savant.
advanced.
Is it a commentary on misogyny that they were trying to make, that like her brother is equally like a piece of shit to her and they accept him and he's fine, but
Yes.
because she's a girl, like that they don't care about her even more? It's like really fucking gross. And maybe, I don't know, maybe deep down somewhere somebody realized that, and then that's why Christians didn't like this, because like, oh, they want a little girl to be empowered and like know she has a positive place in the world instead of
True.
Hmm.
being trampled on.
Yep.
This bit is actually pretty rough here as he manhandles her, and the family laughs horrifically as Matilda is literally clockwork oranged into watching the idiotic game show.
Hmm.
The cackling continues until Matilda's anger rises to a crescendo. She blasts the TV apart with her newly developed brain powers.
Hell yeah. That was so cool.
It was really fucking scary. Like if I would watch that as this kid, I would have been like fucked up because he holds her head still. I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
this is bad shit.
Hmm.
The next day, two monstrous silhouettes meet at Harry's car lot. Harry himself and a hulking figure with a harsh voice, saying that they're a school principal. The two villains commiserate on their hatred of kids. No, I already said that. But what do you know? The very next day, Harry declares that Matilda is going to school.
Hmm.
Because he just happened to find a principal that fucking hated kids that finally is going to send her to school.
Yep.
Again, there's wonderful stuff from DeVito's direction in this movie. as we treat Trunchbull like a monster in a monster film,
Hmm.
not fully revealing her for a good while as the kids at the school tell Matilda just how awful she is.
Yeah.
She defenestrates a child. She uses her riding crop on them. She makes all the kids stand a medieval torture device known only as the chokey. And oh man, little Matilda can't catch a break because she's on her like immediately.
Yeah.
The cast of adorable kids is finally introduced, including Lavender, Hortensia, and Amanda. When Trunchbull is fully revealed, she turns around and her face is monstrous. The angle again, very close on her.
Hmm.
I'm not super familiar with film terms. I don't know the wide angle lens. You know what I mean? I can't talk a bunch of shit. But like it's a
Yeah.
very close up, very claustrophobic shot of her face, and she looks monstrous. It's
She
very good.
snarls. Yeah. She's like, yeah.
Yeah. Very aggressively moves toward the camera.
Hmm. I do want to point out though, like that was a awesome observation that you made earlier, Kevin, what about the way that they just kept making her scarier and scarier too. Like
Yeah.
even the shot of her belt buckle with the teeth was so intimidating.
Oh
You're just
yeah.
like, fuck, man, this lady's scary as hell.
I started to wonder if they were going to show her at all. Like I didn't know where the movie was going. I was like, is this going to be like you know, Charlie Brown or like where you don't see the adults
Hmm. Hmm.
or like
That
just
would have been
is it going
really
to be
cool.
this scary shadow figure the whole time?
Sure.
That would
And
have been interesting, yeah.
he did this. He did the Bruce thing, right? Like you don't see the monster like immediately, which would have been
Hmm.
way cooler if you didn't show her until way later in the movie. Like have
Yeah.
Trunchbull be super scary. Don't reveal her like face until the chocolate cake eating scene or
It's
something.
Oh
exactly
yeah,
what I was about to say. Yeah, that scene.
that would have been rad.
Or maybe you don't actually reveal her face until you learn what we learn later in the film.
Yeah.
Hmm.
When you see the painting for the first time, that's your
Mhm.
introduction to how she looks. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
Why are you came? We'll get to that later because she straight up looks like Vigo the Carpathian. And I think that was on purpose. It was very, very funny. Um, when Trunchbull is fully revealed, she berates this adorable little child for having pigtails. Why? Because she's evil, and that's what evil people do. They attack people for things they don't need attacked for, like I don't know, the color of their skin, or where they
Hmm.
were born, or
Mm.
how they were born, and they can't change it. That's what fucking bad guys do. You fucks.
There
And
was a
Amanda.
there was a part though where the Amanda's like, "My mom says they're cute," and then Trunchbull's like, "Your mother is a twit," and then
I know.
my
I
son was
thought,
like,
man,
"That's a reference to the Twits," which is another Roald Dahl book. I was like, "You
Mhm.
got it, little buddy. You're such a little nerd."
I was thinking that the usage of the word twit in this movie is a higher level than most movies I've seen.
It's
Because
true.
I think didn't DeVito call her a twit like a few minutes earlier?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, yeah, I made a bunch of noise. Sorry.
You're good.
Well, we also have to mention that Roald Dahl is like ethnically English, right? And this is an American production, so there's a lot of things here that are very culturally English, like the headmistress at the school being like this horrible dour place.
Hmm.
Um, I did like,
I love that they made her British. That was such a cool choice.
yeah, the idea like that the school and the administration of the school
Hmm.
is the monstrous aspect and not how the kids treat each other, which is kind of an inversion on most like school things we see from England.
Hmm.
But this is a very British story and told in a very American way, which is kind of gave it a weird tone and
Hmm.
added to that sort of like movie out of time quality.
Yeah.
When Amanda answers Trunchbull's questions with open honesty, the monstrous principal proceeds to hammer throw the child by her pigtails over the gothic death fence. I'm like, holy shit. That made me stressed out. Like I know they're not gonna like impale a child in this movie, but like, oh
Yeah.
my god.
I audibly laughed at that part just because of how comically long she was in the air.
Yeah.
And like she was coming down at the fence, and then even after that, it was still like 5 more seconds of her descending. And I was just
True.
like, I think that was like my first audible laugh of the movie.
Well, I mean, we have a child with superpowers. We have to give her a superpowered villain, right? Trunchbull
Hmm.
actively exhibits super strength several times in this movie.
Yeah.
Like and like the whole thing um, in Unbreakable where Sam Jackson is like, these stories come from somewhere. Some people are just a little bit better at things than others, and that they just build into mythologies. Like Trunchbull meets Mr. Glass later, and he like super masterminds her into like becoming like this killer. And then Bruce Willis has to like grapple fight Miss Trunchbull to the death later.
That would have been
It's,
crazy.
that was crazy. James McAvoy's there. Somebody's naked. It's a whole thing.
All VO'd by Danny DeVito.
This fucking guy, he survives a train wreck, and it's crazy.
And he calls everyone by their actual name, not the characters in the movie. Sam Jackson's in a wheelchair.
Oh, don't sneeze around him. He'll shatter. The scary moment is played for sweetness, as Amanda is okay and scoops up handfuls of wildflowers upon her landing. But fuck Trunchbull. Like, she didn't know that kid wasn't going to die. Like, oh my God.
I mean, the
Yeah.
juxtaposition there is a little bit of whiplashy because it's like terrifying. She looks like she's gonna land on this thing, and then she lands in the grass, and the music immediately is like, "Bip, bip, 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 bip." It's like, oh, look how sweet it is. And you're like,
Oh,
I just,
flowers.
yeah, I was like, I thought this child was about to die.
Yeah.
Later, in class, we see that not everybody at the school is a diabolical mad person. And we meet Miss Honey, played by M. Beth Davids, who this is her second appearance on this podcast. She was in 13 Ghosts.
That's right. Fuck. And she was not cool in that movie.
No, she was a baddie. And not a baddie.
No,
A
but
bad-
a bad person.
Bad. Uh, Miss Honey is the nicest, sweetest, most kind lady ever, and I will not hear anything bad about Miss Honey, not now nor ever, damn you, because Miss Honey is a peach. When Miss Honey realizes Matilda is more advanced than the rest of her class, with the revelation of high-grade math skills and the most low-hanging fruit of literary canon, she goes to Trunchbull to ask if Matilda could go to a higher grade where she could learn a little bit better.
Mhm.
I have no idea what I was talking about, low-hanging fruit of literary canon.
She was talking about reading Dickens. So maybe
Oh,
it's my
yeah.
bad.
I like Dickens too. We have to read Christmas Carol every fucking year. Dickens my ass. Make her like quote Emily Dickinson or something. Like,
I think you keep forgetting that she's 6, Zach.
hey, everybody likes Emily Dickinson. If you don't like Emily Dickinson, you do even like the English language, Like, come on. Like Emily Dickinson's fucking great. Also, recommendation: watch the show Dickinson. It's fucking phenomenal and absolutely hilarious. Oh god, it's so fucking funny. She meets all these weird American literary personalities, and they're fucking strange.
That's cool.
Louisa May Alcott, the lady who wrote Little Women, is just this like psychopath.
Oh.
She
Oh,
meets
cool.
Henry David Thoreau, who is just a dickhead, played by John Mulaney. And
John
he's just like
Mulaney.
hanging out in a cabin. Yeah, it's so fucking weird. It's so funny. Emily Dickinson goes and hangs out with Death in his carriage. Like, she has delusions of meeting Death. Death is played by Wiz Khalifa. It's a whole thing. It's fucking hilarious, dude.
Cool.
It's such a great show.
That reminds me of a show called Dan Harmon and a Time Machine. Did you ever see that? The guy that created Community, Dan Harmon, he built a time machine, and then like celebrities come through the time machine as different historical figures. Like Jack Black was Beethoven. It was really
Oh,
fucking
no
weird.
way, dude.
No, I haven't heard of that.
It's really fun. It's on YouTube. You guys should check it out for sure.
Yeah.
When Miss Honey goes to Trunchbull's office, she sees it's a nightmare. Full of unpainted or peeling wood, exposed nails and screws, dour color, and physical safety hazards just laying everywhere. She's got sharpened ass javelins and all these darts. The production design of this movie is wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Trunchbull, who is throwing darts way too close to that dartboard, coated with student pictures, physically because, like, sorry, Trunch, if you're trying to be good at throwing shit, you have to be farther away than 4 feet.
For real.
Come on. It's an embarrassment to the great sport of darts, which apparently.
Did you know that people go crazy for darts? I did not know
No.
this. Like, I saw on TikTok or something the other day, some dart event, and like the crowd was chanting. There was a huge crowd there, and they're all like, "Yeah, darts!" And I'm like, I did not know that this world existed. And the guy like comes out, I forget what the music was, but he's just like singing the song. He's got his darts in his hands, and it's like, this felt WWE,
Yeah.
Black Dog by Led
making his
Zeppelin.
way to the ring. Yeah, it's crazy.
Everything is wrestling. Um, yeah, darts is huge in the UK.
That's what I was about to
Here,
say. There's a whole fucking game show where people win like hundreds of thousands of dollars for how well they can play darts.
I know a guy who actually is a professional dart player. He does have a
Crazy.
Not
shoot
to
stage,
brag.
but like he's like, oh yeah, I win money every weekend when I'm playing darts. I'm like, cool.
He's a dart hustler.
And he still has to have a day job, so I'm like, okay.
He's got like weighted darts that he doesn't show anybody. He's like, don't worry about what I got over here.
He's over here like using a hair dryer to like melt the plastic on the fletching so he can bend them so they'll spin in midair.
Did you
Oh
guys ever
God.
watch The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, there's that one episode where Uncle Phil is the pool hustler. Like this dude's hustling Will and it's like takes all of his money. And then Uncle Phil comes and he's like, I think I can play and win. And he acts like he's all bad at it. And then that guy's like, why don't we make it $100 a ball? And then he's like, Jeffrey, get me Lucille. And he brings him his own cue. And then he just starts beating the shit out of that guy. And like that's what I think. I'm thinking of like a dart player doing the same thing. Like he just pulls out his secret darts and all of a sudden just wins all this money.
Opens his trench coat. He's got like 6 of them there.
Yeah.
Trunchbull physically threatens Matilda if Miss Honey doesn't perform her job properly, using the chokey and a really poor sports analogy to drive her point home. You know, the point, like a javelin.
Oh.
You guys, because she like looks at the
Oh.
javelin. She's like, "You get my point." I'm like, oh, yeah. Later, Matilda walks home. I have zero idea why, because why would you go back to this house? You could just disappear and they wouldn't give a shit. But she walks past the feds staking out the house out front. When she attempts to talk to her mom about it, mom actively and willfully ignores her, talking to her friend on the phone, dropping a little, okay, this one's for the adults joke of the movie.
Yeah, a couple of them.
Yeah, it was a little funny. I was like,
I
okay.
shaved mine. I was like, ew.
Like, oh, sheesh. I did not need to know that about Danny DeVito's wife. Yeesh.
It was also pretty bogus that Matilda walks in. She's like, "How was school?" And she's like, "Oh, okay. Well, you want to know?" And then she's like, "Shut the hell up!"
Yeah. Yeah. Immediately shuts her down.
Which is played for, we're laughing about it, but we know that this is probably a way thousands of children across this country are treated.
Yeah.
And it's really serious,
That's what I told my fiance as we were watching it last night. I was like, it just makes me sad for the kids that really have these kinds of childhoods.
Yep.
Right. Because we don't take teaching people about sexual education seriously. It's such a weird, taboo, freaky topic because of churches. Because we're not allowed to have sex and sex is weird, and all these people just want to bang, so you get married at like 20 just so you can fucking have sex, and like then you have a bunch of kids you don't like that's because everything fucking runs through all of these social problems come through like church. It really sucks. I don't know if that's 100% it, but like that's a lot of it.
Yeah.
Like the relationship we have with sex and talking about sex as a culture, like as Americans, is weird because everybody's so weird about it. It's not that strange. And like you're not allowed to teach sex education in school because somehow that's exploiting children and the parents will boycott. Like I don't understand how that makes any kind of sense at all.
While simultaneously they'll be like, this one's going to be a little heartbreaker. And it's like a
Oh, yeah.
3-year-old, wearing a
Yeah.
t-shirt that's like, looking for my future husband or something, and they're like,
Oh, dude, yeah.
but let's not teach kids about anatomy.
There was
Asking
like
5-year-olds if they have a boyfriend yet.
Yeah.
Dude, when we had our first kid, someone bought a onesie that said "My Little Black Dress." I was like, I'm fucking burning this thing. What are you
Oh,
doing?
That's
What the
kind
hell?
of gross.
Yeah, right?
Who thought that was a good idea? Like that's foul.
Isn't this funny? No, not at all.
Like get the kid a onesie that says "dinosaurs fucking rock," dude.
Hell yeah,
That's
brother.
that's what they
Yeah.
want. All the kids want to fucking show us some dinosaurs, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Future Dilophosaurus fan. Tell me about theropods, please.
Or when it just like
Daddy's a little paleontologist. There you go.
says like Ratasaurus with the T-Rex with sunglasses. Let's go.
Yeah.
A skateboard. Let's go. Later, the Wormwood family watches TV, and Miss Honey comes by because she's an absolute peach, and Harry is a shithead to her because she wants to like have a relationship with this kid is obviously advanced. She wants to take care of her.
Hmm.
When Miss Honey stands up to him, they finally let her in, and she tells them how brilliant Matilda is. When they react like their attitudes may or may not result in the downfall of the United States of America in the future, Miss Honey says, "Forget these clowns," and she just hoofs it out of there.
Hmm. Not before
And
leaving that little book for her,
Yeah.
though.
wink,
Yeah.
Yep.
because
Tomorrow. It's like you wanted to read this whole book by tomorrow? God
they're
damn.
on the same page. Her and Miss Honey are vibing. They're like
Book
best
pun.
pals in the world.
Yeah, book pun.
And then I have the note here, like, man, get a load of these completely non-realistic, cartoonish characters that don't exist in real life and couldn't possibly influence the direction of the entire country. People like this voting would be crazy, right? You guys.
Right, totally.
And these are caricatures, but this is how some people operate their lives, dude. It's
Oh
crazy.
yeah.
I wouldn't even call them characters, brother. That's just a character study. This is real shit.
Yeah. I mean, my own aunt at my grandmother's funeral, I was talking to her, and she's like, "Oh, you sound like one of those intellectuals," and I'm like,
Ugh.
"What
What?
does that mean?" Like, it took a very, very difficult, like, very hard exercising of my self control to say, "Oh no, I have no aspirations to be one of the intelligentsia, dear lady," and walk away. Like, it was really hard for me, not just be a dickhead about it. I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay." Same aunt, by the way, who said that there's a specific NASCAR racer, which I had to unfortunately be exposed to watching fucking NASCAR at her house.
My
Which,
dad watched
good night
NASCAR
about that.
all the time, man.
Let's go, Brandon.
There's
Isn't that where that
NASCAR.
chant initiated? I think it
Yep.
was at
I
a
think
NASCAR
so.
race.
It was
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
There's a specific NASCAR racer who's a mixed guy,
Yeah.
and she was like, "Oh yeah, that African American blood helps him be more aggressive driving his car. That's why he wins so many races." I'm like, "Holy shit!" And like, my mom had to say something to me. I was like, "That's not a thing. Like, people aren't aggressive because of like what their fucking
Whoa.
ethnicity is."
That's
She got really
wild.
offended. She was like, "Can't say anything this day and age." No, because that's fucking shitty.
Oh,
Yeah, man.
yeah. No, yeah, you can't say anything without consequences. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, of course you can't just say whatever you want, but that's what they think freedom of speech is, like no consequences.
Yep.
Holy shit.
100%, man. Holy shit.
The next day, and an oval wipe later, the Trunchbull stands at the head of all the assembled kids in a hall so dour, so threadbare and miserable that even the Baudelaire siblings would cringe. She
Nice.
publicly shames a poor child for eating her cake. She forces him to eat the cake in front of the whole school. First one piece of slimy, foul, heart disease inducing confectionery. Then a whole ass cake, a towering mass of flour, sugar, and cocoa that looks less cake and more Pizza the Hut. She forces this poor child to eat this entire cake in front of all these kids because, fat.
But that cake looked fucking delicious.
It
Did
did.
it?
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
Yeah.
I'm
Even
the
my,
only one that was like, ugh.
even my
Especially when
kids were like,
she took the machete and was like, "Ching."
yeah.
Oh, no
I was
way.
like, yeah, break me off a piece of that. But are you guys familiar with misophonia?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have it, but I think I have some degree of it. So all these fucking eating scenes were making me disgusted because
Yeah,
it's just
man.
like all the chewing and the gross mouth sounds. And I'm like, God, of course, this has to be the longest scene in the movie. And I'm like, please, please make it stop.
Yeah, the
My
Foley
wife
artist
has
got paid
hardcore
overtime
misophonia.
for that scene for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, there was some really good sound design too in this movie.
Hmm.
Like, this whole movie's just so good. But yeah, my wife has like hardcore misophonia. Like, I can't even eat chips in the same room with her because she'll
Oh,
just like
yeah.
glare at me. Like, okay, I'll go enjoy my chips somewhere else.
See, I didn't even know that was a thing. That was one of those things like where like my parents and probably most conservative parents were just like, get the fuck over it. Stop being annoying. You know what I mean? But
Right.
now
Yeah.
you're like, that's real shit. People have that stuff
Mhm.
because my kids 100% have that stuff.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
we can talk about it. We actually have the ability to have the vocabulary to talk about it now, and that's a good
Yeah.
thing. to
Yes,
be
it
able to
is.
be aware of how to be nice to people. Like
Hmm.
my wife's not being mean to me when she like reacts to me chewing chips. Like it's just like she can't help it. That's her brain. Like,
Yeah.
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, it
Ah.
sends you to like an irrational angry place. And for
Mhm.
me, the eating is usually not the thing that triggers me.
Hmm.
Like that, I think it's just because that scene went on too long. For me, it's usually like very rhythmic things, like water dripping. Or I
Yeah.
used to work with this guy who would drum on his desk, and it was always like a very rhythmic, and it drove me crazy. And I Googled one day, I was like, "Am I weird for getting irrationally angry for sounds?"
Hmm.
And that's when I discovered misophonia. I was like, oh, maybe I have a pinch of that. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. It sounds like it a little bit.
Yeah.
Little Bruce, the kid who's eating the cake, tries his damnedest, grappling with the behemoth confection, bolting down cake by the fistful until the monstrous. Okay, I'm going to try that one again. Little Brucey tries his damnedest, grappling with the behemoth confection, bolting down cake by the fistful until the monstrous sweet gets to be the better of him. His strength flagging, Bruce slumps over the frosting smeared mess, nearly defeated. Until, like any shonen anime character worth their salt, Matilda stands up and shouts her encouragement to the boy. Shouting, following Matilda's example, the rest of the school lends Brucey their power so he can spirit bomb the last few bites of that cake into oblivion. The resulting triumph sets the school kids cheering and celebrating like Lil Bruce just blew up the Death Star,
Hell
and the
yeah.
Trunchbull screams and shouts at them because they have the temerity to enjoy something. And then she sentences all of them to 5 hours of detention, or they all, as one, get piled into the chokey, which I don't think is physically possible. So here's the thing: like, why didn't they just say no and leave? I mean, I
I
know they're
know.
kids, but like,
They were all so together on chanting no matter what she said, but then when she's like, detention, they're like, all right. Or like they were just like they just give in.
Hmm.
like
I felt
whatever.
good for Bruce though, man. He was the champion of that moment. Everybody was loving him. I was like, hell yeah, Brucey, you get that shit.
Hell yeah, dude. Bruce was on that beard meets food type of shit. He was on that
What
man
else was
versus
that
food
kid
shit.
in? Was that kid what other movies was that kid in?
I
I
don't
like
know,
to
but
Been
he
in a
looked
remember.
bunch of
familiar.
stuff. He's very familiar.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's probably the token chubby dude in a lot of 90s kids
That's
movies.
what I was thinking, yeah.
Like the dude was in Sandlot and Big
Yeah.
Green and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Kid, he's definitely in heavyweights somewhere.
Probably, yeah.
That night, after dark, Matilda walks home alone through the streets, seeing the feds still parked outside her house, and we get a movie in a movie moment as we see them watching Dragnet on TV in their car, which was another anachronistic moment for me because I still thought this was happening in the 60s. It's weird.
Mhm.
But it apparently wasn't happening in the 60s. Did you recognize that it was Dragnet?
No, I wasn't paying attention. I was like staring at Paul Rubens sleeping, and then the other dude put the
Yeah, I
book in
was too
front of his
busy looking
face.
at Pee Wee Herman's sideburns. I'm like, those are pretty sick.
It was like I thought it was either Dragnet or Adam 12 because they're
Mhm.
sort of contemporaneous. But
Mhm.
Dragnet's the only one that like uses heavy uses of voiceover. So I assumed it was Dragnet. I don't know 100% for
I like to believe it was Police Squad starring Leslie Nielsen.
sure. When Matilda gets home, Harry yells at her about packages being left out, probably containing stolen car parts.
Hmm.
Matilda informs her father over some suspiciously anachronistic PB&J that the cops are already watching the house. Her parents, never able to think she might be right, yell at her, surprise, surprise, and send her off to bed. That was another anachronism because that striped peanut butter and jelly co-jar was
Hmm.
definitely like a 1995 thing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Mhm.
we grew up eating that. It's called Goobers. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Moving on. Oh, goobers.
You
Really?
never eaten goobers?
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
I don't eat peanut butter and jelly.
Uh,
You
it
don't?
was
I have
I
a
have it.
I have a sensory. I love peanut butter, but I cannot do gel. I have a sensory thing. I can't do slimy or gooey stuff. I can't
Oh
eat
yeah.
Jello. Like it's yeah. Um,
Interesting.
but no.
yeah.
I'll,
PB&J is my go-to, man.
I have one at
I'll
least one a
fuck
week.
out. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I eat peanut butter and I'll do marshmallow cream or Nutella.
A
Mm. How
fluffer
much you
nutter?
I'm
Yeah.
a choosy mom, so I choose Jif. That's my go-to.
Ooh. Okay. Hot take. Yeah, this is gonna sound weird, but peanut butter and jalapeno. If you get
Okay.
the hot jalapenos, pickles with peanut butter is really good too. But if you
Wow.
get like peanut butter and jalapenos, peanut butter sandwich with tahini on it as well is really
Ooh,
good.
that does sound good.
It's
Yeah.
all that saltiness and like the hot with the sweet. Come on,
Man,
son.
now you're making
I
me
need I
feel
need to
like,
I need to branch out.
yeah, right. I'm over here like feeling like a little bit like, well, PB&J is so good. You're over here trying all these crazy confectionery combinations and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do, baby.
Yeah, you do.
Also, a little bit of fuck, cayenne powder. Just a little bit of cayenne powder in cinnamon and sugar on that
hmm
peanut butter, toasted. Son, let's
You're
go.
always making crazy sandwiches though. You're always sending me
I'm,
pictures and shit.
I'm the Sam man. I'm gonna make a sandwich as soon as we're done
I
recording.
think I am too, honestly.
I got hoagie rolls. I got fucking vegan taco meat. I think I'm gonna make a taco hoagie melt. I don't know how that's gonna
A,
work. I gotta figure that out.
a takogi, if you will.
Oh,
Takogi,
oh
and then we
shit.
summon a giant robot. We're in an anime all of a sudden. Um, where are we at? Before school, the kids are having fun checking out cool stuff they found outside when Trunchbull walks up, hopping mad about the lemon that Matilda's dad sold her. And even more of an insane rage than usual, she drags Matilda violently to the chokey. Lavender, who is showing everybody her newt that she found in the river, runs to Miss Honey, trying to get help for her friend. But Miss Honey is preparing the classroom for a guest collab with the Trunch, hiding anything with color, creativity, or childhood whimsy from the evil principal. Lavender, in a stroke of devilish genius, puts her newt in the Ben Franklin ass pitcher of water they set out for Trunchbull.
Yeah,
Because, like, what is this pitcher?
that whole idea of them having to hide everything colorful and shit definitely wasn't another thing that made me think about growing up Christian and shit. Being like, oh, gotta hide all this under my bed so my dad doesn't come in and think
Yeah.
I'm a
Put
sinner.
the fun things away.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, man. I literally built like hollowed out shit to hide movies and stuff from my dad.
Um, I mean, I'm sorry you had to deal with that, dude.
Oh, it is what it is, man. You know, you learn and you grow from it. Now I know where to check all my kids' shit, where they're hiding. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh no! Oh no! This thing repeats itself.
No,
Oh
I'm just
no.
kidding.
Somebody stop him!
I'm like,
Uh,
where's the books that you hollowed out to put your smut magazines, kid? That's not just kidding. Just kidding.
you're sick out of it.
That's what my dad did. He would take my Mad magazines, he'd glue pages together that had any suggestive material. It was
Whoa.
ridiculous, man. I was like, I paid for that with my own money, you piece of shit.
That's crazy.
Um, with a Dutch angle, an ominous shadow, and a music sting, the Trunch arrives in full evil authoritarian regalia. When Miss Honey notices Matilda's absence, Lavender is a real one and tips her off. The
Mm.
Trunchbull, ever ready to rejoice in the sound of her own voice, monologues. Her usual harangue of the children provides cover for Miss Honey to go liberate Matilda from solitary. Which, like, holy shit! Like, what the fuck is the chokey, man? This is a medieval torture device.
Yeah, it looks like
There's
an
an
Iron
open
Maiden.
fuel pipe. It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trunchbull is incensed that the kids have the gall to have any joy at all, and she drinks the newt water until she notices the amphibian lurking in the glass. Trunch rounds on the newly returned Matilda, interrogating her about the creature, shouting and hollering about her absolute control of the school, repeating Harry's words from earlier about who is in charge of who and why they are in charge.
Hmm.
Suitably angered and triggered by this speech, Matilda telekinetically flings the newt onto Trunchbull with her mind powers, making the bully freak out, screaming and flailing in an attempt to remove the newt from her body. The kids, her spell of intimidation broken, laugh at the humiliated headmistress until she retreats, but not before yelling at Matilda because why not harass Matilda some more?
I thought
As the
that she had an extreme underreaction to Matilda returning to the classroom. Like it seemed
Yeah,
like she
right?
didn't Like I thought she was going to make a big deal about Mrs. Honey bringing her, like going and getting her and bringing, like freeing her out of there. But she was just like, "Oh, Matilda's back."
Yeah, I agree with that, man. Because I was thinking that in the moment, because she freaks out about every fucking thing. It's
Yeah, I
insane.
thought she would be more like, "You betrayed me," or something,
Yeah, right.
or something.
She
Well, I
makes some
feel like
throwaway comment like, "Finally have a backbone today, Mrs. Honey," or some shit like that.
Something like that.
she had some sort of grudging respect for Miss Honey, like having the courage to do this.
Yeah, that
Mhm.
must have been it.
Yeah.
After the others file out of the room, Matilda tells Miss Honey that yes, in fact, she did fling the newt onto the trunch. And this makes me wonder, is this yet another indictment of strict religious upbringing? Because is Matilda just what Carrie would have been if her mom wasn't a psycho and she ended up with Miss Honey instead?
Damn. That's an observation.
You know what I mean? Because this is Carrie, like Matilda could have been Carrie if
Hmm.
her
True.
mom was like a psycho religious fanatic.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what Roald Dahl when he said when he wrote this. He was like just finished reading Carrie. He was like, "Let me do less cocaine."
Well, Roald Dahl did say that because I haven't read Matilda because obviously it's a children's book and whatever. But like Roald Dahl did say that Matilda was a reaction to how he felt reading was falling out of the world and how less kids were reading
That
and
makes
Mhm.
we're
sense.
going to a post-literary society.
Mhm.
What would he
So,
say today?
Yeah,
yeah,
right. Oh my God.
a lot of the focus was on more about her like love of books and like reading than it was other things, I believe. But I didn't
Hmm.
read it, so I can't talk shit.
I just want to throw out there really quick that was another moment of proudness that I felt watching this because we take our kids to the library every week and get bunches of books and they read them at bedtime. So when they were watching this, they were like, "Hey, that's me," and I was like, "Fuck yeah, it
Mm-hmm.
That
is."
is so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
dude.
super stoked, man.
Because you're a good dad, Donovan.
Oh, thanks, buddy. I appreciate that, and I really mean that. I'm gonna not cry now. Keep reading.
When Miss Honey rejects the notion of Matilda's abilities, the girl tries to show her, but her power doesn't work, and Miss Honey is mildly condescending, but she's still a peach, goddammit.
Hey, man, I thought she was handling that really well. She even was like, "Well, sometimes people are really upset and stuff," but then Matilda does go, "It's not like that, Miss Honey. Shut up."
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know what you're saying, but this ain't the same thing.
Yeah, right. Stay in your lane, Miss Honey.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, you better watch how you talk to Miss Honey. Yes. Miss Honey tries to be nice and proceeds to invite a child to her home, which is Miss Honey, you're such a peach. I'm going to trust you. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
she is, after all, the best. On the way to Miss Honey's place, they pass the Trunchbull's house. It's an ominous, brooding wreck of a once beautiful building that I'm sure probably has a shape inside. Oops, wrong movie. Then, in a twist that would make even verbal Kint blush, Miss Honey relays to Matilda the sad story of a little girl orphaned when her parents passed and adopted by an evil aunt. The Trunchbull, it seems, is Miss Honey's own aunt. Miss Honey is loaded. She's got this big old house. But
Hmm.
Miss Trunchbull may have killed Miss Honey's dad for all that money. Oh my God, Racer X is really Speed Racer's older brother Rex. Everybody thought died in a car crash, but you really didn't die in a car crash. Now he races the number 9 car. A. Oh,
The number 9 car, you refer to that in its correct term. It's the shooting fucking star.
oh my God, he gets it. We got one, folks. It was such like a pops racer. Oh, for me,
What?
like I'm like, oh my God. I was like, oh no, because I hadn't ever seen this movie up to this point. And like I didn't think they were gonna do that, but
My
that's
9-year-old did a
really
verbal,
gross.
"What?"
Really? That's so
Yeah.
cool. Oh man. See, that's good shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
that's why I should have my nephew over when I watch these kids movies we do, so I can see how he reacts to them.
Well,
He
the
might
way
be a
they
little
did it was
small.
dope too, with like the different fades and stuff. It was really cool.
Mhm.
I really enjoyed that.
There's again, this movie is directed fabulously.
Yeah.
And do we know if Danny DeVito has ever won any awards for directing? Because
I don't
like,
know.
and I'd be very interested. I'm gonna have to watch another Danny DeVito directed film, probably Death Smoochie because I think that movie's fucking hilarious.
Death to Smoochie
But
is amazing.
um, I would love to see if a lot of this is heightened because Matilda is a child and because he's communicating with kids. Because I
Right.
don't remember there being a ton of Dutch angles and weird lighting and stuff
Hmm.
in Death to Smoochie. I think it's because he's tuning his voice to communicate with children. It's just fucking good, dude. Let's go. Matilda tells Miss Honey she should stand up to Miss Trunchbull, because there's got to be something she's afraid of. And we see the eponymous antagonist exit the house and face her deepest fear, a sweet, adorable kitty cat? What a fucking rube, man. I'm like, oh my god. Matilda and Miss Honey hide, watching as Trunchbull, who this movie totally hasn't spent the last hour telling us is a deplorable monster, proceeds to kick a sweet little kitty cat into the stratosphere. And if I already did not hate Miss Trunchbull, now I have completely descended into insensate rage at the abuse of this poor like, it's on site, Trunchbull. Like, I'll fuck you up. Like, don't kick cats.
That's some Jack Black and Anchorman type of energy right there, where he punts the dog over the side of the bridge.
You destroy what I love, I'm gonna take what you love.
Did you just hit me with a burrito, man?
I've never seen Anchorman. I'll probably have to watch that.
Oh man, you definitely need to watch it.
Yeah.
I don't like Will Ferrell.
You will.
Oh.
You will. I'm trapped
Really?
in a glass case of emotion.
Yeah, see, I think he's annoying.
I get what you're saying, because a lot of time he does play kind of similar characters, you know what I mean? In a way that Ryan Reynolds does as well. But in that movie, he plays such a heightened character. It's above what he's done. It's such a good movie.
I really like Keckner. Like, Keckner's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to probably see it just to see a David Keckner performance, because he's
Yeah.
that dude's a real one. If David Keckner has a heel turn, I'll be so fucking mad, dude.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I hate to inform you, Zach, he was recently involved in some DV charges. Not a
What is
joke.
DV?
Domestic violence.
Oh fuck, man.
Yeah, buddy.
Everything sucks.
Oh wait, I should have did it in the Peter Lorre voice. I hate to inform you.
Oh no, not Peter Lorre. He shows up every time anybody gets bummed. Fuck.
Yeah. Champ Kind, not the greatest person.
God damn it. The heinous villain finally leaves, and I begin rethinking my opinion of Miss Honey as she allows a 6.5-year-old child to cajole her into breaking and entering. Like, are you such a peach after all, lady? The two go into the house, and we get a sad walk through Miss Honey's stolen memories and happiness, all watched over by a stern portrait of the Trunchbull on the wall, looking straight up like Vigo the Carpathian. We see flashes of memory, both sweet and bitter, showing off more of that wonderful Danny DeVito visual grotesquerie. Trunchbull's like stealing chocolates out of Miss Honey's dad's chocolate box, and it's like the most disgusting thing ever. It's so fucking good, dude. But the sand is flowing out of their hourglass very quickly, as elsewhere, the shitty car Harry sold Trunchbull breaks down, and she uses her super strength to manhandle the vehicle to head it back home. Which I don't know why we needed to see this, but it was kind of cool.
It made me more scared of her.
Why does she keep trusting this car? She's like,
right.
It's broken down on her 38 times in this movie, and she's like,
right.
Just did a different car.
The two would-be thieves run upstairs to retrieve Miss Honey's childhood doll, named Lucy, as Trunchbull crunches into the driveway. They hide, but not before coming to the conclusion, with zero evidence at all, that Trunchbull must have killed Miss Honey's dad.
I think it's just her character in general, where they're like, that makes sense to me.
Sure.
Yeah, that's true. There was very little evidence to go on, but it's just like, I got a hunch.
That part was, though, a little bit where I had to look at my kids and be like, uh-oh, because when they were like, when they're talking about her dad, they're like, how did he die? And they're like, they said he killed himself. And I'm like, that's a little heavy. That's a little heavy.
Yeah.
Then, in a Sherlockian bit of observation, Trunchbull notices the chocolate box is askew and rages at the intruders. What follows is a slasher movie-esque chase through the house, with hairbreadth escapes, near misses, superhuman villain powers, and now the third Ninja Vanish occurrence we've seen on this podcast. They barely escape Trunchbull's House of Horrors, completely avoiding the lady and her apparent gleeful touting of the castle doctrine, as they're able to slip out into the woods without being seen. It was a nice bit of tension and danger for a kids movie. I was like, oh my god, this is actually pretty scary.
That
She
scene was
has a hammer
intense.
throw ball. Oh my
Hmm.
god.
Yeah.
It
There's
was
Yeah,
a
it was
really
bit
a
where
good.
she's
it was a
chasing him.
legit pretty scary scene. It felt like when on Pan's Labyrinth, when that thing that has the eyes on its
Oh
hands like
yeah.
gets up and starts chasing after that.
Hmm.
Like that's
Hmm.
that's what it felt like. It was pretty scary for
Yeah, he did
for
such a
kids, I'm sure.
Hmm.
yeah. Well, that's what I said. I would love. How did your 9-year old react to some of those?
Oh, he literally sat up. Like he usually like lounges when he watches the movie, but you could tell he like sat up on the edge of his seat. He was
Oh,
like
yeah.
really into it. It was really cool. Uh, that part though, where she's hiding under the table and fucking Trunchbull sits down to eat the cake. It's so gross, but it's also like really, it's really done well because you
Mhm.
feel that tension as you see Matilda start to climb down off the table and Miss Honey sees her and she's like, "Oh shit!" It's like really intense. It was really good.
Well, there's something to be said about a movie that you're watching a film, you're watching something not real, and you allow that suspension of disbelief to take over, and you like really get sold on danger. I love
Hmm.
a I love good danger in movies. A lot of movies now don't do danger very well, but like
Yeah.
this did really good peril for little Matilda.
That's true. A lot of movies just depend on jump scares and stuff to get to people.
Even
Yeah.
action movies where like the action hero is going to make it through okay, uh, they don't do like, oh, that person's in peril.
Yeah.
Cut to the Wormwood residence, where Mom is regaling the feds inside her house with lurid stories of her and Harry's youth as Matilda gets home. She tells her mother that those dudes are cops, lady. But when Harry bursts in, he yells and harasses the cops out of the house, where his wife tells him that they're used boat salesmen. It's like very silly. And he completely buys it, and like the
Yeah.
feds are just
You having a
fucking.
pool party?
Yeah.
It was
You,
so fucking
you never let me talk to anyone. They even have like a little toy boat that they're like showing them.
Oh yeah.
funny. But Matilda, brilliant minded that she is, has got a plan. Using her horrible father's verbal abuse as fuel, she's able to use her brain power to shut and lock the door. Cut to a telekinesis montage. I'm like, oh geez, thanks for the powers universe. I get telekinesis, but have to relive my trauma every time I use it. Some fucking gift, dude.
Yeah. That's a little bit
Like,
unfortunate.
yeah, that's. But
That's that
again,
cop that little montage though is such a feel good moment, dude. Like you
Yeah.
just like you literally can't help but smile as she's like eating the Cheerios and fucking a
I
little
know. I
bitty
was like
pretty one
product
comes in.
placement, Cheerios product
yeah,
placement.
Yeah.
So that scene was really the only thing that I knew about this movie, really, because
Oh
it's like
yeah.
such a famous, iconic scene. But
Hmm.
besides that, I didn't know Danny DeVito was in it or anything. I just knew about that little girl who plays Matilda and that scene, really.
Hmm. Yeah, that scene introduced me to that song and might have also ignited my love for like soul and Motown because that's like my favorite genre. And
Hmm.
that right there, yeah, I fucking love that scene, man. It's so good.
what is the song?
Little bitty
I don't.
pretty one.
Oh yeah, there you go. Oh, it's
Yeah.
so good. And again, we see the strength of DeVito's direction, as the scary bits of abuse Matilda uses to fuel her power are replaced by the whimsy of childhood magic, as she has a Breakfast Club dance scene amongst the fruits of her labor, as she makes things levitate, turns lamps on, makes the radio play, and general wonderment happens. It's absolutely wonderful.
Hmm.
But the feds do what the feds are going to do and disregard the rules of, evidence seizure, I don't know, the Constitution, and they break
Hmm.
into Harry's garage, but for some reason, Matilda stops them. Hopefully, less out of loyalty to Harry and more out of loyalty to the Constitution, because, like, fuck Harry Wormwood, man. He's a dickhead. Let him get arrested.
I definitely feel like she's just doing it because she knows it's wrong and not to help her dad. But
Yes.
but there are points where she just loves her parents still, regardless of what they do to her. So it could be that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. She gets the feds out of there by sending their car rolling away down the street with her telekinesis, stealing their VHS tape, which makes this a movie out of time because I always thought this was in the 60s.
I told you Matilda's a fucking punk, bro. She knows what's up. She's fighting
Yeah,
the authorities. She's doing all this shit. Hell yeah,
fuck
I do
brother.
wish that she would have like shoved that tape a little further down in the trash. So,
Hey, right.
but I mean, I
Hide it.
guess I, yeah, but I mean, I guess she I don't know. Like she's trying to convince her parents that they're cops. I guess that would have been a good way to do it.
Yeah, true. That might be like a little bit of the old Christian guilt hidden in you, where you're like, you got to bury that, brother, so that people don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Mm. Later, Matilda leaves the house on an important mission, giving us a trailer moment as her horrid brother verbally abuses her and flings a nasty ass TV dinner carrot at her, which she flings right back to him and it lands perfectly in his mouth because you need stuff for the trailer.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Um,
Very obvious that that was a reversed shot, though, and that's how they pulled that off to be a little cynical.
um, I mean, it was such. This movie is so fucking well made,
Yeah.
and saying things about effects are just is just kind of like beating a dead horse. You know,
Oh,
effects are
yeah,
gonna
I
be
know.
different. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? But it's always fun to be like, hey, I know how you did that.
Absolutely.
So
That's fun to me, especially
part of the fun of movies, right?
I didn't want to point it out to the kids though, because I didn't want to be like, ruin
Ruin the magic.
yeah, exactly. But inside, I'm like, you motherfuckers.
Uh, Cut to the Trunchbull's house, where the villain sharpens her javelins as Matilda looks on, fully intending on yet another bout of breaking and entering.
Dude, I love how much they used her shadow in this movie. It was so intimidating and creepy. It was so
Hmm.
good.
Adventure happens. Child danger music bops on the score as Matilda climbs the outside of the house. A wild wind Adventure happens. Child danger music bopping on the score as Matilda climbs the outside of the house. While wild winds rage around her, Matilda battles the elements to retrieve Miss Honey's childhood doll. As the Trunchbull further displays her depravity by throwing javelins inside the house? Like, come on. Like, next, you're going to tell me the Trunchbull, like, lays in the bed with her boots on. Like, we have reached new levels of human depravity here. Like, there are things you don't do. You
You
do
think
not
she
throw track
sleeps?
and field equipment. Oh yeah. Trunchbull has the grind set, and she like gets up at 4:30 every morning. She
She just
dips
stands
her
in a
face in
corner.
like a bowl of vinegar. She stands in the corner, like
Yeah,
looking, and
she just leans on the wall, and that's how
Yeah,
she
absolutely.
sleeps,
She
like a horse.
falls into the perfect position in the corner where each shoulder is touching a wall, so she's like kind of supported.
because real alphas don't ever relax,
Yeah,
even when they fucking sleep.
she would definitely call herself an alpha.
Yeah.
She's like she sleeps like one of the vampire zombies in the Will Smith I Am Legend, just like standing in the corner, like oh god, oh please no. Uh, Matilda, never one to waste an opportunity, proceeds to telekinetically gaslight Trunchbull into thinking that the house is haunted.
So rad.
Matilda flickers the lights, causes drafts, burns Trunchbull's portrait, causes a shot put avalanche, and makes the portrait of Magnus Honey fly over to reassert itself in its rightful place above the mantelpiece.
Hmm.
Trunchbull freaks out and books it out of the house as if all the hounds of hell are barking at her heels. But the raging winds and ravaging storm tear Matilda's trademark ribbon from her hair, and it lands on Trunchbull, who recognizes the smell of a little girl from her hair ribbon. Yeesh.
That was the weird part to me because like I thought when she first grabs the ribbon and smells it, I'm like, oh shit, she knows it's Matilda. But
Mhm.
it's
Hmm.
like because I thought they were going to go that far with it because they've alluded to her sense of smell several times already. She's like, there's somebody in here, and
Yeah.
like chases them back up the stairs. Never mind that there's clanging and banging happening. Uh,
Yep.
but like
She's out here clanging and banging, dude.
she
She had a
smells the
Trunchbull
ribbon
down
and
in
she's like,
Tennessee.
did you have to really smell the ribbon to know that it like a little kid is a little kid's ribbon? I don't know. It was
Hmm.
strange.
Which is a really good way to sell your villain even more, like make them more animalistic. Like she has
True.
a heightened
Hmm.
sense of smell, she's stronger, she like
Hmm.
jumps from the second floor balcony, like
That was
landing on her
terrifying.
feet and not taking any damage. That was so cool.
Tally ho! I gotta admit too, though, this was probably the only time in the movie where I related to Trunchbull a little bit. Because if this shit was happening to me, I would also run out of my house like that. That was shit
Yeah.
would it would terrify me, man.
Well, at
But
least
they
we
do
know
a
she
good
has
job at villainizing her because you don't really feel bad for her at all. You're just like,
right.
fuck yeah, you piece of shit.
That's
Yeah.
what you get. The next morning, Matilda proudly delivers Miss Honey the Lucy doll, and a horribly disheveled Trunchbull pulls up and creaks up in the shitty ass lemon car that Harry sold her. It's so funny. And again, we do these things that it makes her scary, and then we undercut the fear. It's the
Mm-hmm.
way, and I think that's a thing that happens a lot in kids' movies. I believe I read somewhere that they do this on purpose because you have to like not make it too scary.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
they did this in reverse in the horrible, horrific, traumatizing ass Where the Wild Things Are movie, where like you'd have childhood whimsy, and then the kid is afraid of dying, like by being crushed to death. And you're like, oh no, you're doing
Is
it the
that
wrong way.
I don't remember that movie at all. And recently I was like, maybe I'll watch that with the kids. Thank you for reaffirming that I won't.
Oh, it's horrible. It's just so scary, and it's like
Isn't James Gandolfini the main monster?
I don't know. I don't even know.
Tony
I don't know.
Soprano himself. Listen here, kid. One day you're
He's
gonna get crushed by a rock.
Max. I can't. You know, we come to the island. We have the Royal Rumpus start. I can't
What
do
the
it.
fuck you
I can't do
talking
it,
about,
Tony.
Junior?
Yeah, I can't do it, Tony Soprano.
I can't
But like,
Hey.
so you come to the Royal Rumpus specifically, the Royal Ruckus specifically for the Gabagool. You know what I'm saying?
Take this weird little paper hat that I made, and you can be the king of us.
It's a boat. It turns into a boat. I don't understand how it works. It shows imagination over here.
Now sit down, and we're gonna talk about morality and mortality.
Morality and mortality. Later, in the realm of the wild things, we discuss morality and mortality as we nearly crush a small child to death. Oh, dude. Attenborough would have been way funnier to do for the wild things. Oh, well.
Hell yeah.
Finally, it's down to this. The fateful final confrontation. Trunchbull uses her super strength to menace the kids in the class, demanding to know whose ribbon this is. But Matilda has leveled up, using her 5th level prestidigitation and an intimidation check to scare Trunchbull into thinking Magnus Honey is in fact in the room with them, writing creepy messages on the blackboard, flapping the blinds, and bludgeoning her with erasers. Until finally, in a cloud of chalk dust, she falls to the floor, defeated. The kids, too afraid of the big bad bully to be excited, look on with bated breath.
There was
But-
one thing I noticed in this that I never noticed before, and that's like before Miss Trunchbull came to the class, Matilda was asking Miss Honey like all these questions to like verify the information before she did this. I never noticed that before. She's like, "What's your dad call you? His name is Magnus, right? What's Miss Trunchbull's first name?" And I was like, "Oh, I get this now."
Yeah.
Because she's a brain genius.
Mm-hmm.
But, like any good slasher villain, Trunchbull rises once more from the floor, roaring with rage, face flushed with terror. Grabbing a kid and preparing to defenestrate him, the Trunchbull races towards the window. But Matilda thinks quick, and because she's the main character, always rolls a 20, grabbing the kid with her telekinetic powers at the last second, sending him soaring around the schoolyard, free as a freaking bird, instead of crashing to the unforgiving ground below.
Shout out to a dope score right there. The drums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such good stuff. She steers him back into the room, sending Trunchbull diving for cover, only to land on the improbably large, comically sized globe in the room, where Matilda spins her around until she totters over, barely able to stand. Trunchbull tries her own intimidation check, but she must have rolled a 1 because she charges one last time with a shout, going to either crush Lavender, grab her to throw her out the window, or throttle her to death. It's not quite clear.
Right.
She takes out a door with her fucking head, and it's the funniest shit. The door to her head is one hit too many, and she falls to the ground. Her spell of terror over the school is broken as the kids begin to cheer. The children then prove that the kids, yes, indeed, are all right, as every last one of them in the school pastes the once intimidating headmistress with all manner of school supplies and lunch stuff and cupcakes. And it's so fun. Suitably embarrassed, Trunchbull runs away, never to be seen again, and the school is saved from her rule of terror.
that whole sequence is done so well by Danny DeVito. Like he directs the shit out of that moment. Like every shot, the perfect amount of Dutch
Hmm.
tilts, the way that like the
I
special
like
effects are done.
when she gets up and looks and all the kids are in the hall and they all have their throwing
Yes.
items. Like that's just
Hmm.
a good shot.
Yeah, the one kid's like tossing the banana up and down.
Yeah.
And I think he does. Does he shoot? He shoots the kids up,
I
making
don't
them larger,
I'm not sure.
right?
It's either that or it's just a
I
full
think it
straight
pans
on
up.
check. Yeah.
I can't remember. But yeah.
Because again, it would be. It's really intelligent stuff. It's really smart stuff. Very,
Mhm.
like Guillermo del Toro always says, narrative choices. He always claims that as making narrative choices, like
Yeah.
because the visual is the narrative as well as the story itself. So like if Danny DeVito did reverse that shot of making the aggressor, even though they are right this time, making them feel larger than the attacked. That would
Hmm.
be
Right.
really cool, but I don't remember if it happened or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Later, as Miss Honey and Matilda chill at the house, having a tea party on the porch of the Honey family home, which has now been restored to its former glory, the Wormwoods rock up as sirens wail in the background. So dismissive are Harry and Zinnia of their daughter that merely to be away from the feds, they sign the Deus Ex adoption papers that Matilda has, and they peel off to escape the cops.
They even
What
call her the
follows?
wrong name when they like pull her up. They're like,
Oh
"Let's go,
yeah.
Melinda."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fucking oh my god, I I wanted to hate them so bad. Like it's so like how can you
It's
treat a kid
gross.
like that? You know.
Yeah.
They peel off to evade the cops. What follows is a montage of Miss Honey and Matilda having the best time that any two human beings have ever had. They read stories, they hula hoop, they roll around, they have fun, they make a fort. They're being adorable and cute, and this is the sweetest thing I've ever seen. And I'm not crying, you're crying, and that's our movie.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
I
I,
definitely teared up and almost cried like 9 times. Particularly any interaction Miss Honey had with Matilda. It was just
Mhm.
such like a sweet, like I don't know. I don't know if it was like trauma based or what, but like the words she said were like hitting me every fucking time. Like about wanting like belonging to people and being heard and stuff like that. I was just like how much different would my life have been if I heard shit like that when I was that age, you know what I mean? And
Sure.
yeah.
it was just wonderfully done. And yeah, it was
Yeah.
beautiful, man.
That movie was great. It made me have a like Miss Honey made me have a real appreciation for the good teachers that are out there, you know.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
Like from that first scene with her, I was like, "Man, you know, there are really some really good teachers out there and we should appreciate them more than we do."
It's
Absolutely.
a
I
hell of a case for giving paying teachers more money.
it
Hmm.
is. I thought that maybe um her parents would have some sort of redemption
Yeah.
at the end, like or Miss Trunchbull, one of the two, but like neither of them did. That kind of surprised me a little bit. I think mainly Danny DeVito because he's doing the voiceover, and it makes you think that he's gonna eventually like see the light and be like, because he's like she this and this and but her parents, and you're kind of waiting for him to be like, oh yeah, she's a good kid, but that just like never happens,
Yeah.
and they just like sign her over and leave.
Yep. They almost allude to that it's gonna happen because they have that moment with her mom where she's like, "You're the only daughter I ever had," and you're like, "Here we go," and she's like, "And I never understood you. Where's the
Yeah.
paper?" And you're like,
Yep.
"Jesus."
Yep.
Kevin, thank you so much for suggesting this film. Like this was a real treat to
Hmm.
watch something
Yeah.
that was this nice, and the bad guys actually got defeated, and it was super sweet. Um, Especially right now in the horrible political climate that's going on in
Yeah.
America, to actually
Yeah.
see, you know, the abusers and those in the wrong get their just desserts.
I know it was nice.
It
Hmm.
was really nice. And like, what a sweet movie! And I can't believe I hadn't seen this for so long. To see it as a kid would have probably been better because
Yeah.
to really appreciate it because it is a kids movie. But
Hmm.
Hmm.
it's so nice. It has such a good message of like, even if you're little, you can stand up for what is right. And I think that's why people are trying to destroy art. And but
I
whatever.
could see why evangelical parents might not want their kids to watch this movie because it's
Mhm.
like, oh no, they're gonna see that, you know, there's a lot of parallels between the way that they parent and like the way that a lot of uh kids are parented, probably
Oh
being
yeah.
shut out of certain things. Don't educate yourself. Like education's the devil, and do what your family says no matter what. And like they're like, oh, you know,
I'm the
uh,
bad guy.
uh, yeah, they'll see it like the movie rewards disobedience and stuff.
Hmm.
But I could see why they might be like, I don't want my kids to watch that.
Yeah, man, that moment with him in the car shop between Matilda and the dad, Danny DeVito, where he's like, "I'm big, you're little. I'm smart, you're dumb." Like
Uh-huh.
that rings so true to a lot of Christian
Super
parents.
glue.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah, I can't.
heard that told to me, like, you know what I mean? Just like shut up,
Yeah.
stand still, listen to what we're saying, don't question
Res
anything.
Respect your
I,
elders no matter what.
Yeah,
I
that
cannot
respect
tell you.
part, man, was like so real. Where he's like, I
Mhm.
don't get any respect in this house. I'm gonna come in there and tear in your hide like you never had before. And then she slams the door. You're like, fuck, man, that was real as shit.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
can't tell you how many times I heard from my mom and dad like a child should be seen and not heard.
Yeah.
Like you don't have a voice. You should only be a fixture and not a actual individual person with motivations. Imagine that.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
So, Kevin, thank you so much for joining us. This has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it
It's a
has.
pleasure
Thanks for
having
having
you.
me
Hopefully,
on.
we'll be able to have you for another occurrence or a different movie, maybe um,
Yeah.
in the future. Do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Uh, you can just find all my socials and stuff that I'm working on at JesusUnfollower.com. I'll just plug that. I'll also plug the movie Begonia. It has nothing to do with me, but it's a really
Hmm.
fucking good movie that I recommend. It's on
The one with
Peacock
Emma
right now.
Stone.
Yes. Have you
Okay,
watched it
cool.
yet?
No, but my wife was talking to me about it, and we want to.
You should.
Yeah.
It's stuck with me. We watched it like a week ago, and
Hmm.
like I just keep thinking about that movie. That's definitely worth
It
watching.
looks wild as shit. So yeah, I definitely want to watch it. Yeah. Have you heard anything about that, Zach?
Oh, yeah, I heard the spoiler about the end.
Oh, then
Oh,
shut
you
your mouth.
did?
Shut your
Dang.
Yeah.
mouth.
I'm not going to say anything.
I
Still
I
worth watching.
I want to throw out there really quick a quick movie recommendation myself. It's one of my favorites, and it is now very poignant and timely. Go watch the movie by Charlie Chaplin, The Great Dictator.
Hmm.
It is
Ooh, okay.
such a good fucking movie, and the message is so on point. And
Hmm.
that speech he gives at the end, it will move you and more than likely make you cry.
Oh, yeah.
It's such a good movie.
I wrote it down.
Hell yeah, brother. I think it's on HBO Max.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah. You got anything, Zach? Eh.
Nah, not really. I don't fucking care. You know what I mean? I haven't watched. It's very. I don't want to be a baby, but it does feel very difficult to enjoy things and like
Yes.
have any element of escapism right now.
Oh, I did
So,
watch this one really good movie. Sorry to interrupt. I think I saw it on CNN. It was about this like authoritarian government takeover, and
Oh,
they're like
fuck.
shooting people in the streets, and yeah,
Oh,
it's really good. I think
oh
all
my
the new
god.
actually all the news channels are playing it, but you should check it out.
I can think of one that's probably not. It starts with an F.
Yeah. Um, I did watch. So Donovan, you know this. Kevin, you're new here, so you don't know. One of my favorite things is bad fantasy movies,
Hmm.
Oh
like
yeah.
shit ass fantasy movies. And I found a terrible asylum movie um, that is called Dragonfire.
Oh, you're
In
texting me about that.
it's so bad. In which a an Iraq War veteran finds out that his farm is right next to a portal to a fantasy world, and when an elf princess escapes through the portal, all the hordes of orcs come and lay siege to his shitty redneck ranch. And it is very, very funny. It's so bad. It's just horrifically awful. All the CGI blood that just ruins everything because like it doesn't actually splatter or nobody's covered in blood after they get shot up.
Hell yeah.
Um, it's definitely some dude bros like power fantasy of him being able to like handle an entire army of orcs with nothing but an AK and fucking half track. But it's so delightfully bad that I really enjoyed that. I absolutely love those shit movies where you see the same locations in
Hmm.
LA that you've seen in every film. Like the cave from Robot Monster is in this movie. Like that bit of Griffith Park where you see those same trees are in this movie. And it's just like, that's fun.
Is that the one with Jason David Frank?
No, the one with Jason David Frank is called The One Warrior.
Oh, hell
And he is the Green Ranger versus orcs, which is very funny and very bad.
Don't threaten me with a good time. Yeah,
exactly.
So bad and great. I love bad fantasy movies. I was so fucking...
Hell yeah, brother.
But yeah, if you like what you heard, leave us a rating and review. If you're new here, leave us a rating and review. Comment on Spotify. Rate and review on Apple Podcasts. Send us an email and tell us how shitty we are. I love hearing how shitty I am. It helps me with the whole being filthy rags since the moment I was born thing. I am Z Reynolds Writes on Instagram. We are Jesus.stole at Instagram.
I am _DJ_DMed_ on Instagram.
You can send an email to JesusStoleOurMovies@gmail.com. If you have a story about a movie you were denied as a kid, or why you were denied a movie or TV show, or something you've never actually caught up with as an adult that you would like to tell us about, we'd love to hear it. We love hearing people's stories.
Even a suggestion or a recommendation, too.
Yeah. We have a list, but that list is dwindling with every episode we have. So if anybody wants to make any suggestions, we'd love to hear them. Also, thank you to Mustard Plug for the use of the theme song, Vampire. And as always, listen to more Scott.
And don't let Jesus steal anything from you. Get that shit back.
See you next week.
Bye.
You're crying out for a breath of air. You need a cure, but the shelves are bare. Look in the mirror, there's no one